Okay, so I'm on now, waiting for Order of Magnitude to join the live stream. And I will just send out another invite. If anyone else would like to join, let me know, and you can also be a part of the discussion if you like. You'll probably have to put your email or something like that so I can add you. Hi, Andrew. All right. Waiting. Now I've made Albert monitor. He'll be making sure you have your hall pass. So anyone who is playing up, you'll have Tiny to deal with. And I don't think I'd want to deal with Tiny, who goes under the name Tiny. Ah, that's sad. So I'm waiting on order. Oh, my necklace. It's actually it's a choker necklace. So thank you. It's sort of like a what they call it's like a ruby, but it's actually like it's grown ruby, if that makes sense. It's not like the ruby from the mines or anything like that. So it's morning, Jackie. Morning, Zena. Morning, David. LT like Ghost Paranormal. Liz, good to see you on. Maria, how are you? There's quite a few. And we still don't have Mr. Magnitude himself yet. I don't know, with this time zone difference, it is a real B. It really is. Apparently on the 30th of October, the daylight saving in the UK ended, which meant that clocks had to go back. And so that means my time is an hour forward than what their time would have been if I had stayed at 9 o'clock Sydney time. So, okay, Spirit's making itself known already. You know, it's so funny. Before I actually said, is anyone here? And I hear, no. And that was Chris, obviously, being cheeky. Now, I've actually put up on, I can't even think of the name of it. It's like one of those things that, you know, when you've got the motion sensor, it actually has like those lights that go across it. Oh, God. It's sort of like what they have when they're measuring earthquakes or stuff like that, you know. So it makes these lights flash. All right. Now, just out of interest, I thought I'd sort of like, while we're waiting, there's a movie that I was watching the other day, and it's called Six Souls. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it, but just see it. It is really good. It is a bit of a horror, if you're into horror. So, yeah, it is pretty, You got to see it. The guy in it, the main actor, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So it's called Six Souls, as in the number 6 souls. It is an old movie. It's not a new one, by the way. And I saw it with Halloween and everything like that. I'd watch a few spooky movies. And, yeah, it's good. Yeah, 6 souls, as in the number 6. Hi, Sylvia. Zena. Where are you, Riley? Let's try him again. What did you say? He's in the classroom. I don't know. Or the bath. I don't know. I heard something about the bathroom or bath. Hi, Jane. Congratulations. Oh, and I can't get over it, because when Riley was mentioning that he was he had some good news to tell, and this was about what was it, Mark going out to that location. Chris said to me, "Oh, send him my congratulations." But this is before he actually announced that he was going to go out to this location, and it wasn't long after the hi. What's happened? Now I've got a message. All right, he's got, I don't know what's going on here. Order. He sent me a thing saying hi. Okay, I want you to click the invite. All right, so what was I saying? It must have been a lie. Gee, yeah, oh, well, that's right. So he mentioned something about he had news. Hi, Riley.
Ah, there you are, my media Thirtlet. How are you, Thirtlet?
It's not my fault. It's your fault, because you live in the UK.
Ah, didn't the clock get back?
Your clocks went back, apparently.
Yeah, didn't yours?
No.
Is it? That's weird.
We're always.
Don't you do that?
I don't know. I mean.
You don't know?
It could have. I don't really look at the time. I look at the time on my clock, and on my phone it automatically sets, so it could have. I mean, I don't watch TV. I'm very, very ignorant. Well,
obviously, modern day gadgets update themselves, don't they? They do it for you. It's only the old wrist watches, things like that.
Exactly. So I don't wear a watch, but my phone must have automatically updated in the computer as well. So
sure.
I don't worry about those things. But I think from now on, just to be safe, I'm going to be checking the time zone on Google, because I don't want to be yelled at on a bus. Like,
well, what is because you can't hear anything. Brrr, yes, I'm on a bus right now. Brrr, there's that sort of thing. Directly.
There was a guy behind you looking at the screen. That's why I waved when I bye.
Well, what's funny is a lot of us in Wiltshire, we are a bit backward on technology. So the guy in the back probably thought, what's this, the future or something? It really, really bugged them. Honestly, they're like the sticks out here. They don't really know like video calls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Into what? So it's quite funny.
Oh, I tell you, I'm still over the moon with Chris. You must have, tell me honestly, were you discussing this thing, and I'll let you announce it, because it is exciting what you're doing. Did you happen to know about this before you went out, or were you talking about it before you went out to that location with Mark?
Oh, no. I didn't know anything about it before that location. When I went to Mark and Paranormal X, I knew nothing of the sort. The idea wasn't even well, there was sort of a talk on a table a little while back. It was about the same sort of time, but for it to actually materialize and the way it was, no, I had no idea, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That I only knew to go, we thought, right, we'll go. Go on.
That day when you said that you had some news, and it was more about you going out to that location with Mark.
Yes.
And his partner. And Chris said to me, Ted, can you tell him congrats? And I thought, okay. So I wrote congratulations.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was cutting my teeth, wasn't I? That's what I was doing. I was cutting my teeth. I wasn't just in the bedroom doing a typical spirit box session. I was going out on my first, if you like, proper investigation, and I caught freaking, well, not me personally, but the team caught, a lot of stuff, A-class material, really clear spirit box session, etc., and a K2, and the only thing we needed was an apparition or someone to throw a rock at us, and we'd have been complete,
Probably. But anyway, yeah, he said congratulations, but the way he said it, I'm thinking, oh, there's something, there's something really exciting that you're going to announce. But there was nothing, I mean, it was exciting, but nothing like
it was. Yeah, it was mentioned, but it wasn't. It's just because Jane's got contacts with TV. She's done it before with her paranormal people. What do they call them? Cornwall.
Everyone, those that are watching that haven't actually heard about it, tell them what's happening.
All right, okay. So first of all, no one freak out. Truth Seekers is not being dropped or left behind or anything like that. I promise you, this is overtime if you like. Basically, we know a lady who's in Truth Seekers called Jane. She is with North Cornwall Paranormal, and she runs her own thing, Paranormal Voice UK. Anyway, she's got contacts with TV people. So has Mark got contacts with TV people. Mark from Paranormal X, he's with Broadband TV. Jane's with someone else, can't remember. And it was discussed a little while back, well, just before or just after I did the episode with Paranormal X, about pushing it a bit forward and put it onto a TV screen. Is that possible or whatever? And we're trying to overtake huff, because we want to get more knowledge, because truth, real evidence, not fake bullshit. We're fed up of it, but we understand that TV programs and companies, they're at the mercy of the management. If the management says you have to pull a face and look shocked or fake a chair, you've got no choice in the matter. Your contract terminated. So we do understand that. So, although a lot of people fake us stuff, we're not kicking you for it, because we understand it's not always your fault. You have to sometimes, because, Well, anyway, Jane has basically said, well, let's go for it. Well, how about me and Mark, his dude, Simon, Proven Demons, because he gets lots of dark, scary stuff in his spirit box. Oh, and of course you order, because you're just a nut job, and, So, yeah, basically deal with Roku TV, which is an American USA. So if you're over the pond, I don't know about us British people. I never heard of the station Roku. So it's not about ABC or BBC in England. It's a really down at the bottom somewhere on Amazon freaking stick or digital TV. It's a very low thing. But the point is, it's on TV. We're not being paid for it. But the good news is, because we're not being paid for it, it's our show. We can do what we want. If we think this is crap, not put it on. We don't need to fake anything. We'll do it real. We're gonna. There are other shows, as Mark said last night. He did a live stream announcing all this. There are other shows out there that are real. There has to be. We just not heard of them. They're going to be like us, very small. We're going to have a very small audience. But the idea is, maybe someone will notice that.
Will they be editing the show at all? The TV?
I think we're doing a whole lot, and they just give it to. If there's like lots of swear words, because I've got a potty mouth, I don't know if I'll bleep that or something, or not have it. I'll try and record myself, obviously. Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, fucking terrible, fucking bollocks, wank. Any kids to be at school? So, anyway, but no, seriously, I don't know on that. Jane, I'll have to ask Jane on that. But I think we really have total control of everything. It's like we're doing Roku TV a favor. Help, we're a really rubbish channel. No one knows us, but I kind of like your stuff. Can we have your stuff for free if you do what you want, kind of thing? And it might help you. You help us. No money, just, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It fills airtime. That's what we're doing, filling in airtime, if we really want to be honest. So it's not like some sort of big, it's not going to be like Ghost Adventures or whatever in terms of the celebrity and all the things. But that's good, because it means there's no fakery, because in Ghost Adventures, when you ever seen an episode where nothing happens? Nothing. Nope. Something happens every time, you know, and it's big and it's wow and it's ooh, you know. Nah, this, you know, if nothing happens, we just won't put it out there, I suppose.
They won't always cooperate. That's bottom line. Even
Of course
in
not.
my profession, they won't always cooperate. I mean, as you know, as I've told you before, that you can have a reading and there won't be a spirit around the person. Not because they don't want to be, but maybe they just don't have a, they don't agree with it, or it's not, you know, it's not healthy.
They might. That's from a cigarette. I got some Kojak today. Who loves you, baby? Lollipop. Try and cut down cigarettes. So I got 1, 2. I'm gonna lose my teeth instead of my lungs today, maybe. But you know, who loves you, baby? But I haven't got a lighter, so you have to excuse me a minute. But yeah, I totally. They all got views and opinions. They got personalities, haven't they? You know, even these demonic things have separate agendas. We all know about Mortis and his relationship with E and Inanna, whatever the hell that is. You know, the 5,000-year-old mythical beast that never roamed on Earth anyway. He's with the devil, but has his own agenda. So he hasn't eaten Mortis yet. He's had plenty of opportunity to. They have their own personality and their own views. You know, like we do.
They do.
So if they, or they don't.
I asked Chris once if he could stand in the hallway so I could actually I'm not a dog, but it was like I'm not an F. So, yeah.
I do think, I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of stuff I'm a bit miffed. I have had some really good sessions, and I thought, oh, if I had that on camera, but I don't know if they'd have done the same on camera. I mean, one even asked me, are we recording? I said, no, you're not recording, carry on. And it wasn't an amazing session, but the point is they asked me, are we recording? So it does have a bearing on it, you know, and I have really good stuff. But that's not because I don't want to record, it's because my wife's gone, you record too much, stop it. You're being obsessive, stop it, you know. I record everything my way, but, you know.
But you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, even with me, I'll only put up things if I feel that it's worth putting up. Yes, I know you're here.
Oh, someone else here, is there? I'm kind of, I put up it no matter what, because I want the person, anyone who watches my channel, and don't worry if you can't watch every video I do, because I put one up every day, sometimes 2 a day, bar Sunday, obviously, and I got 2 or 3 live streams a week. It's a lot to keep up with. It's like you have to give it your life to watch my life. Don't worry about it. Look at the titles of my videos. If it looks like it's an interesting title, it's an interesting session, I will be honest, say, nah, not much going on or whatever, but I do it as if you own the spirit box, you're doing it every day, and this is what you might get. You know, I'm no medium, I'm nothing special. If anything, it's my wife that has had all the hauntings. Yes, I was there at the time and I saw it all, but they're originally there for her, not me. You know, I walked in on it.
Well, I think it's a good thing that you do, because there are so many people out there who get this impression that you start up a spirit box and straight away you've got all this communication. And
Ian.
Exactly.
Hello, Ian.
Telephone. But you might have communication, but it might not be as audible. Like with Huff's videos, people have this idea that everything you, like when you turn it on, they're going to be saying you're the chosen one, or, you know, you're whatever. They're going to, they won't. I mean, they've never given me a name. They probably have behind my back. I don't know, but they've never given me a name. I think that's kind of special for Mortis.
Yeah.
I think that is very special. That that's,
you know it's a phenomenon. I kid you not. Even on my sessions, on other people's sessions, they call out for him all the time. Shannon and whatnot. He really has made a deal with I'll say the devil. He's scared of it. The devil approached him, or so a spirit proclaiming to be the devil approached him, and you know, he said some malicious stuff. You know, I'm going to burn your soul and all that crap. And oh, that's nice. He says, I'll be ready with tea and scones. You can visit if you want. You know, but he's powerless at the moment. But when Mortis passes, who knows where his soul will end up? And as he says, risking it all for, you know, giving us the information. We're all risking in some ways, but, you know, whether God agrees with you talking to these spirits or not. So the Bible says, no, you shouldn't. But, you know, yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenon, because like so many people, including myself, get his name, Mortis, Shannon. They call out to him. They think they can help him, I suppose, and maybe he can. But these lost souls really believe he can help or talk to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The wizard. I guess the wizard.
He has been obviously chosen for a reason. I believe that when you have a link with spirit and they trust you enough, there is a reason. I mean, I get people, oh God, lately I've been having, and I mean, I'm a religious person. I do have a very strong faith in God. You know, if I
Sure.
don't, I would feel very insecure because, you know, I can't imagine not having some faith. But that's beside the point. I have people that get on my videos telling me that I'm communicating with demons, that I'm doing this and I'm doing. I mean, I think I've known long enough what I'm communicating with.
Yeah, well, don't you? So you can. I mean, seeing is believing, as they say, but you see it, so you know.
Look, I do appreciate their concern, but the thing is, I have never been scratched. I've never been pushed. I actually, before I go out anywhere, I always say, Jesus Christ is my saviour. His blood is over me. Because that's my way of protection. And I think when you think about that picture of that dark thing standing in the distance, both different cemeteries, different locations, miles and miles apart.
Well, I've picked that up on one of my photos, but carry on. That hooded thing.
You need to ask, okay, why was it so far away? Was there protection around me that...
It's far away in my picture as well, just for verification. It's far away in my picture too. Every landscape photo, this hooded thing, like what you showed, is in my pictures. And once I get a hard disk up, I'll show you, and you'll see what I mean.
That would be great to have a look at, because to be honest with you, I've never really paid attention to those ones, because the ones that I see are usually like you and me, and they're not covered over with anything or, you know, disguised in any way.
Yeah.
Like you.
It was raining. I think that it's been tipping it down with rain, as you know. I'll upload the video later after this, but yeah, it's raining. But yeah, carry on.
It's raining there. So anyway, with that, I've never really taken much notice of them because, well, I'll tell you what, when I go to a cemetery, I'm disorientated. I have that many that, and the thing is, what I've also seen with other people, and this might, you know, intrigue people out there going to cemeteries, I have seen a person step foot into a cemetery and all these souls just seem to walk up to them and they surround them.
Ooh.
Now, it doesn't matter whether they are people who are just there to visit a loved one, whether they are there to do a spirit box session or what, you know, there are always souls that are coming up and they're following them around. And I think it's their way of sussing them out too. Are they there to do any damage? Are they there to visit us? Can they help us? Can they see us? Can they hear us?
I think that's very in terms of like the cemetery. That's twice. I mean, yes, my spirit box stopped working randomly, and they told me to leave. They mimicked my cat impression. I know mimicking is quite a threatening thing when they do that, but it's the second time I've been asked to leave from there. Like there's a woman called Mary. She died in the 1800s. Her gravestone is like nearly fallen over, but not. And I was getting some good communication on my SB7. This is before I was on YouTube. And I said, "Oh, I'll just fix your grave for you, help you out, you know, because you're being so respectful." That was when I was told to leave. Don't touch that grave, in effect. You know, it's their thing, their place, and I'm there. I mean, I left straight away. I said, "Okay, you asked me to leave, I'll go," you know. But I think they're very protective, and like I say, they stopped my hack shack working, and there's a clear look. Do you want me to leave or not? Leave. It was dead straight. Even a moron could hear it. I heard it, so you know, if I can hear it, you can definitely hear it, because I've not got the ears for this. You know, it was a straight leave.
I'll just give a quick shout out to those in the actual chat room.
Yeah. I'm just going to get a light on. Listening.
Okay. We've got Cat Angel. We have Ray Clark. We have LJM Paranormal. Jackie. Brenda. Albert. Liz. Zena. Who else have we got in here? Ray. We have Fairies Do Exist. That's a pretty name. I don't think I've seen them before. Who else have we got? Debbie. I think that's Debbie, Sylvia. Forgotten Voices Paranormal. Quite a few today. There is actually 19 on at the moment. So if we've also got Andrew from Proving Demons.
Hello,
and
Shotgun.
Maria. So if I have missed you, it's not intentional. I'm just going by the most recent contribution.
So many. What are you gonna do?
I think it's good. I mean, the important thing is people, being able to interact with these things. Of course, if anyone wants to be a part of this live stream, feel free. You might be able to contribute to the conversation live. So just pop up your email, and I will send an invite. So it really depends. Where have we got? Kat says, how long are you guys going to be on for? LT proving message not sent. You have been sending too many messages. Take a break and try again.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I mean, I've got to about half 12, quarter to 1. So, I don't know. I don't know what your time, but I got enough time.
Yeah, I'm okay tonight. Tomorrow, I'm actually excited. I'm going to be doing some fundraising. This is at a school which is celebrating its 125th year. So, yeah, I'll be doing reading. Just as a way of helping raise money for the school and so on. I think it's great. So that's what my day is going to consist of. How long is left, Karen? Well, we've only just got on. It's 28 minutes around, Kat. Okay, so
Who was that?
when do they Cat Angel?
Hello.
When do they expect the filming to begin?
Oh, right. They're going on the 6th of November. Not me, but Proving and the Paranormal X. Now, I'm going to be the pain in the ass issue guy because I have no transport and I'm a hobo. Because I'm a hobo, it's hard to get to places. So there will be family as well. It's just a preliminary meet. Just let it flow. Don't rush. These things will come, and you'll get lots of early announcements when and where. You won't miss anything. I promise you. Okay. I can't say, but I know the preliminary meeting to secure a time and date for Bodman Jail, I think it is the 6th, which is like tomorrow or day after tomorrow, something like that.
Yeah, it's very close. Sunday, actually, our time.
They might. But I'm the only one that won't be there, so they might do a hangouts with me if they can get signal. But I'll be, like I said, I'm going to be the turkey that's like holding them back, if anything, because of transport issues. But filming, yes, hopefully as long as they can arrange on the right days and stuff, I'm going to be there. But on the initial meetup, it'll just be those 4 sorting everything out.
Good.
Nothing exciting.
When they actually do the recording, if they don't do it live, for example, I hope they don't sort of cut it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to show the dramatics, which is a no-brainer. But technically, I just feel like,
Okay, none of us are not, because I won't say the word experience, but 8 years of things living here, moving stuff around, nothing really phases me very easily. So, a big bang or whatever, I go, oh, hello, spirit. Whereas they're already going, oh, I'm a vet Fielding, let's scream the house down. Hey, spirit, can you make a noise? Spirit makes noise. Ah! Well, you asked him to do that, didn't you?
Exactly.
What? Yeah.
I cringe when I see those, even on videos on YouTube. They say, is anyone there? And then they get a response, like, oh my God, did you hear that? And
you asked for? You asked for?
It'd be like saying to someone, how are you feeling today? And you say, oh, I'm good. And they're like, oh my God, you feel good? And that's an intelligent response.
He gets threatened all the time, spirit box. He's had a couple of attachments and whatnot, and they have a fetish about strangling him. I must try it sometime. Must be good. But yeah,
well,
so when
I don't know whether this is what he's experiencing, but when I'm in a cemetery and there is a lot around me, my throat tightens. Now they're not strangling me. What it is your energy field. If you think about them as pure energy, and they come close, what's happening? It's like, imagine like you're a balloon and you've got other balloons pressing against you. What's going to happen? It begins to put pressure. And because the vocal area is your breathing and so on, you're going to feel a restriction there, but they're not choking. They aren't choking you. What it is that is like your chakra being compressed because of the energy around you. I wish they'd compress my body.
Yeah. If these are actual threats, if he's like, Andrew, I'm choking you. Andrew, I'm inside you. Andrew, you're going to die tomorrow. But the threat, what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't him. So most people will be like, oh my God, my spirit box is saying this, I'm going to hide. It's like, yeah, whatever. So the dramatics of it, I don't know what dramatics will come, because all of us, I think, are not going to be easily phased by something, unless something literally throws a knife at us or something. Then we might shit it, I suppose. But so I don't know if there's going to be a lot of freaking out. More, like I said, it's maybe more capturing the evidence and like, look, these things do exist, if anything, in a sort of quite dignified manner, even if it is threatening and malice-like. We'll try and talk it down, like in the issue of Paranormal X and me. It started off a bit threatening, and I spoke. We had that witch, didn't we? And she was a bit pushy, and I just said, "Look, you're not a witch. You weren't guilty, were you? It's just." And she said she'd meet me later or something weird. I'll be there, friend. Okay, but
Well, once you begin talking to them, they will contact you. They will follow you. It's like all they have to do is think about you, and they're there. Like we proved with Chris. I mean, Chris.
Yes.
Within a second.
That's mad.
He came through, and he actually said his name through your spirit box, and that's when he said to me, "I'm ready. I'm going now." And I said, "He's going now." So there's the proof that you don't have to be. I mean, some people were getting on at one point telling me, "Oh, spirits, people like psychics or whatever were saying to them, spirits cannot cross the ocean because of the salt."
Oh, right.
In the salt content.
Logic.
Yes, they can. Yeah. They can cross anything. They don't have. I mean, the salt. It depends on how it's used. If you are praying over salt, for example, and you're putting it in the areas of the room as a way of, saying what its purpose is. I mean, the ocean isn't, the purpose of the ocean is to provide life.
Yeah.
So what is spirit? Spirit life.
My belief is it's different entities, isn't there? You got spirit human. It's like I mean, like the K2 meter. Like we get responses from dead humans, if you like, from the Ramway Hill. But when I haven't heard from Ian for a long time. But when I started YouTube, I had Ian constantly for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I asked him to use the K2 over and over, and he said he can't do it, can't. Every single, 2,000-year-old thing that was never walking on the earth in the first place, so to say. So I think there's different things that can do certain things, and like the one that uses a dinosaur, maybe certain spirits can do certain things. Like I said, Ian can't use a K2. If you ever get Ian on your session asking for a K2, he'll tell you he can't. But the humans, like at Ramway Hill, the dead cavaliers and the roundheads, they use that K2 pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Well, if spirit really wants to, they will do it. But they have to see it as a real purpose. I mean, I'll give you one example. I went out to a cemetery once, and at first I was not welcome because they were very against the fact that I was communicating with them, and I thought that they would be happy.
Oh, yeah.
I went out again. They sort of got used to me. They realized that I wasn't there to mock them. I wasn't there to insult or, try to trap them into anything or, like sort of make a mockery out of them, bottom line. I went out there, I just said, look, I just want to talk. I sat down, I said, if you want to come up and talk to me, you come up and talk to me. This is, you know, okay, I'm going to, hang on a second. I'm going to add moving.
While you're adding, I need a lighter. Back in a minute. Wifey's nicked my last bloody lighter again. Use a heater.
All right. Copy. Give me a second.
All right. That's better. Yeah, I have to use the bathroom heater to light the cigarette because wifey's nicked the lighter for work. So.
Oh.
In this house somewhere. They end up, I don't know where they end up. That's where Spirit steals them for a laugh.
Yeah, I've got them all over the place for the candles. Yeah, so it took a while, but after they realised that I was there, only just to talk to them. I didn't even take a recorder or anything at that time. When they began speaking to me, oh my God, it was like, as soon as I stepped out of my car, Karen's here, and I would have them coming up, and I could actually feel them hugging me. You know, it was a beautiful feeling because after they realised that I was just there to be their friend, there was nothing, you know, that I was going to do. I didn't even record them at that point. They felt very comfortable. I then asked their permission. If I come out next time, can I bring a recorder?
Is that the one where you had the mirror, the car mirror in the shop, if that makes sense? You've probably done loads of videos like that, but I watched one where you pulled up next to the cemetery, your car wing mirror's in shot, and you ask it to come forward. I think it was with an SLS camera or something along those lines.
No, that was not the SLS. That was just a GoPro.
GoPro, okay, something like that. I mean, it's a long time. I know what you're talking about.
The one at night when I went out and she was on the bonnet and I tried to capture her and she's saying, can I come in the car? Yeah, that was actually at the cemetery I'm talking about, where an area. This is where Ruth is, and there's quite a few others there. This is also the cemetery where this little kid was piggybacking on me. They were hanging on to the back of me, and because of the fact that they were holding onto the back, it felt like, you know, when you get a pinched nerve in your shoulder, that kind of sharp.
Kind of.
You know, well, it's sort of like a nerve feeling. And every time they'd move, because they were like holding on to me, I would feel it and I'd go, ow, ow. And so anyway, I actually had a group of people out there with me at this cemetery. I took some people from the page and I said, okay, see if you can see anything. So they had the K2 meter. Not anything was coming on the K2 meter, mind you. Then one of them had the SLSX cam. She's holding it, and she said there is actually something there showing up. And I said, well, it's behind me, so it might not actually show itself yet. When I got up and
me again. And
sorry.
Cool.
When I got up to walk away, it jumped off.
Hang on. I hate this when this happens. I don't want to buy anything. Calling me. Hang on. Put the headphones in. It should sort it. Talk.
Okay. Is that better? All right.
Done. It's done. That's okay. Yeah, if I get a phone call, it kills the volume on you, and the only way to rectify it is to put headphones in and pull them back out again, and then it goes back to normal. I have no idea why, but there you go. Well, that's normal.
Andrew,
keep talking.
I've sent you an invite.
Yeah, come on, shotgun. Roll up.
So I've posted it again. Hang on a second.
Stop calling me. I don't want anything. Go away. I live in a cardboard box and I leech on neighbours for fucking methane. Leave me alone.
Yes, so this spirit actually jumped off me. It was captured on the SLX cam. It jumped off me and then it ran across and climbed up this this side rail. and you could actually see it running in front of the SLS cam over to the left of the screen and climbing up onto the railing. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I said, well, I felt it jump off. And I said, he's gone. So this child was just playful. You know, it wasn't a demon, you know, just so if anyone out there is watching this and saying, oh, it's a demon, you know, because its fingers were into my shoulder. They were actually very bony fingers. So it was just holding on to me. I mean, some of the kids, they do that. When you go to a cemetery and you've got the children around, children are children, you know, and they play. They will play with you. One thing I did find, they wouldn't play with the little teddy bear. I took the teddy bear along. They didn't want to play with it because they said that's not mine.
Oh.
I mean, I wasn't going to leave the teddy bear because, you know, anyone could come and grab it, you know, from that cemetery. So it was interesting. But, yeah, going back to that feeling of being choked, it's just a sensation. You will always get spirits that will try to get a rise out of you. You know, it's sort of like a prank phone caller. You know, they will say something, but following through with it is another thing. They won't, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't think Andrew's. It's on him. He's never been choked. His early days of years that they're going to choke you, they're going to kill you on this day, and oh god, the threats are very interesting. I mean, he fair play to him. He didn't waver. He didn't even think, oh yeah, that's nice. You can choke me if you want, whatever. But it's good documented evidence. You know, intelligence is talking back, and it's being a bit threatening. You know, really good evidence. But so yeah, going back to the TV thing, I don't think we're going to have so many surprised faces, no matter how threatening spirit is, unless, like I say, they pick up a chair and launch it at us. You know, which can happen. They can be very powerful. I know that because not I've seen with my own eyes, but like I said, the first introduction to Charlie was dragging those candlesticks across and barricading my wife in her bloody bedroom. You must need some. Yeah, it's not. She thought it was an intruder or a burglar at first, but so she just like let low in her bloody duvet on her own, and yeah, outside the door I mean, these candlesticks, you've seen them, haven't you? The one I used for my this thing here, candlestick, yeah. Well, of course, it makes a distinctive noise across the floor, and you know, you'd recognise the noise while it was dragging that, and Natalie's like, oh god, I've got a burglar or something. Oh my god. So she hides under the covers, the door is shut. She manages to fall asleep, thinks nothing of it. Next morning she opens the door, clunk. What's in the way? And she pushes the door. Sorry?
Have you got the K2 handy?
Yeah.
Can you just turn it on? And put it down near the floor?
No, nothing on the floor.
Try it on the other side.
Nothing. I've even tried in the cupboard where they say there's a portal, apparently. Not of the Huff variety. Oh, yes. Yeah. What's that from?
Chris just said that he was there.
Hang on. I'm trying to get your camera. Hang on. Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris is over there.
I'll turn the spirit box, maybe. There you go. There's your little K2. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris said he's there.
She went a bit. Does that come out, actually?
Because he popped over, like basically he said to me, tell him to put on his K2, I'll be there. So.
Next to be on that side.
Yeah.
A bit weird talking to nobody, but I do it all the time. You wanna host the show? You know, it's all yours, buddy. I'll go get a light. You talk. If I get a light, you might talk. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, there you go. Andrew, where are you? I've sent 2 invites.
I don't hear any squeaky internet noises. Oh well. Yeah, you know what noise I'm on about, that weird either breathing or it's like I can't describe.
Yeah, that's because he's there.
Because he's there, okay. Well,
I think he's sussing out if you've got someone with you.
no, well, I've got my boy in the other room, but I say boy, he's 18 now. He's not a boy, he's a man. So I'm just doing this K2. He ain't budging. This area is getting lower. It's on the reading. Yeah, left that area to me.
Are you going back?
Still there. Or it's residing now. It's going down slowly.
Because he just popped in. So I said he's gone back, and so that probably is why the energy is going low. So you might actually see the lights drop back.
Yeah, they've gone down to green rather than yellow now. They're on yellow when we did it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I actually sent it. What is going on with? I got a message from Andrew to say, can he join? And I sent out.
Oh, he does have a few problems with it, and he gets on usually, but he has a few problems. Shotgun, come on, Shotgun, give us a comment. Let us know what's going on.
Message me.
Problems? Yeah. But
let me know.
Because when you call me on video call, I get it from an unknown profile or something. Is that right? And then what's that about? Is that something you? Because then I hang out you on your actual profile, but when we do this, it seems to be on a different X directory, if you like, equivalent of, it's
okay.
It does, honestly. So because when I said okay to you just before you rang, I'm assuming you got that message. I did it to the other one where you called me, and it said it went through, but obviously you didn't get it. So I don't know what that's about.
That other one that I sent out. Yeah, I thought there's no point in keeping that video up, so I deleted it. So it could be that link was expired, as a result of that. We've got 20 views on now. There's been Paranormal.
Is that a record? Paranormal X.
Paranormal X is on.
Hey, paracetamol. Where's aspirin? Mark's paracetamol and Simon's aspirin. Or ibuprofen, I know.
To join.
Yeah. He sent me a comment saying, "Morning, Riley." 3 people said on my kitchen session, "Morning, Riley." Yeah, it's bloody morning again, isn't it? It's a rainy, wet one, hence the floppy hair and the freaking hood I just had up earlier. I had to walk in the bloody rain. Well,
before you actually came on, Chris was saying that about something to do with either the bath or bathroom. So, as I said, where is he? He's a funny guy.
You turn on like a cigarette through the little grill, and you have to cover the fan so the wires glow orange. That's how a convection heater works. You put electrical current through the wire, and the fan blows on it. Because if the fan doesn't work, it just pop open and break, and that gives you your heat. So you just cover the fan, the wires will glow orange, and you get a light off it. That's how you do it. For any have a lighter and desperate to get a lighter, go to the bathroom heater.
I'll tell you something funny. When I used to be a smoker, I had this little. It's like a what do they call those souvenir shops? They actually had this cigarette. It's like this glass case, and it had brake for emergency. I seriously broke it one day. Well pleased with that. So I thought, how am I going to replace this cigarette now? I've already smoked it. My father, when he was alive, he used to send me Salem cigarettes from America.
Salem,
yeah, Salem. They were menthol, and they used to have them out here. And I remember I was at the bus stop, and yes, I did catch public transport at one point. I was at the bus.
Not too.
There was this old.
Gee.
There was this old guy who was used to be in the army or something. He said, and he said, Salem. He said, I haven't seen them since I was in, serving in World War II. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, they're around. So he said they must be old stock.
Maybe. I mean, my grandma's a bit of a, what do they call him? Eccentric. She's very eccentric. She smoked, but she didn't smoke. She didn't take it back. She just smoked in front of her friends that smoked. She wanted that. But she used to order these things called Black Sobranis, they're called, and they're from Russia. And they're just normal cigarettes, like your typical proper straight fag. But they're pink, they're yellow, they're black. They all come in different colours. So the paper's yellow or pink, or black. But they're really, and she, I used to go to school with these cigarettes, and I was like, wow, what are these? What are them? Just for grand giving them,
Well, I'll tell you something funny. I had horses when I was a kid, and me and my friends went and snuck into the shed, and we actually had a candle, and we would grab the hay, and we'd find the hay with like holes through the middle, and we would melt some candle wax on the end, and we would light it, and we'd have our cigarettes. That was our cigarette. We were smoking hay.
It is so cool.
I couldn't talk for a week. My throat was lined with wax.
Oh, bonfire. Bonfire.
Oh, yeah. Well, my grandfather, I remember him jumping the back fence and to get down to the end of the yard where the horse was. And he's saying, put out that fire. And I thought,
oh, dear.
I would never put out. I wasn't game. I had basically I was raised by my grandparents, and my mother worked 2 jobs to try and provide and everything like that, because she was a single mother back in those days. And back then it was taboo to be a single mother, really bad. But it was funny because she was a smoker, and I'll never forget, she had also these cigarettes in a container, and they were to help you quit. So I used to sneak them and pop them in my school bag and have them on the way to school and, behind the toilets. Quit got me started.
Yeah. It's like the Black Sobranis. They got me started, in all honesty. I only smoked because it was so cool at the time. But I don't know. It's a habit, isn't it? It's what happens, and still here now, eating lollipops. Who loves you, baby? Yeah.
I've had enough. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I watched your video on your telesales guy.
Yeah.
I honestly never laughed so hard in my life. You can imagine the whole house is dead silent with the resonation of snoring going from room to room. Sort of like in my home, I've got my eldest and my other daughter, and it sounds like a snoring tennis match. You one of them snore, then the next one snores, and it's like back and forward. And I visualize this like an orb. But anyway, I'm sitting here watching your video, trying so hard not to laugh. I must have like burst out at one point, especially when you said you lived in a cardboard box, and he goes, "Oh my God." As soon as I started laughing, the snoring stopped. It was like a miracle. I woke him up. It was such a classic.
Oh, brilliant.
I think we should watch it. Do you want to watch it?
If you want, I don't mind. I'm game.
All right. It is honestly, I'll just play like that.
The truth on the matter is, I actually haven't watched it yet. I mean, obviously I did the video, but I actually haven't watched it yet myself. So that's the truth on it. I haven't watched it. I can't actually remember too. I can imagine. I remember a little bit of it, but I can't remember a lot of what I said.
It was classic. It really was. You're going to go down in history for this one. Where is it?
Yeah. In history. Oh, I have a package, I think. Hang on, stay there. I have a package. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there.
Oh, a package. $1 million. What's in the package?
Package from Ups, UPS.
A package.
Who wants to guess what it is? Ups, not Huff. Ups, UPS. Ups.
Oh, Ups.
Ups. Huff.
Sorry,
So
I speak.
What was in my mouth? Hang on. Hang on. I can't open it. Oh, here we go. Oh. Package, there's more package, but parcel. Oh. Oh my God.
Anything exciting?
That's right. That's the old one. That got attacked by spirit, and sounds a bit weird and wonderful, I suppose. One. Let's see. Now this one is allegedly a red ribbon one. Allegedly. So will it work? Ready?
Ooh.
Oh, there's batteries. Hang on.
Well, that might help.
Yeah. It runs on magic, you know.
I believe they do help. You know, don't quite me on it, but last time.
Okay, this is allegedly a red ribbon one. Here we go. Oh, now it's on lock. AM, batteries are low, but I'll do.
Okay.
It's scanning. It works.
Ooh. Hold it close. Let's have a look. Oh, very nice.
That is from Louis Fisk once again, spending like, oh, Louis, what am I going to do with you?
Yay!
Shotgun's made
We
it.
have the torso.
Hello, Shotgun.
Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing?
I'm very good.
Very good.
That's good to hear.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually wanted to say this real quick because I was watching the oh God, you got a new Hack Shack, huh?
Yeah, Louis sent it to replace the other one. So thank you, Louis, once again for the millionth time. I don't know what I'm going to do with the guy. I really don't know what to do with him. Like, wow.
Does it have a toggle switch on it, or is it regular running?
It's a red ribbon, apparently, so he claims. I don't know if I want to open up and find out myself, but it's a red ribbon. I've just tried it now. It works. It does like the other one does, exactly.
What does red ribbon mean?
Basically, this. Oh, you say, Shotgun. You say.
It's just a type. Some of them come with a sorry, could you just put it on the screen real quick for me, Riley? Show it for the camera.
This one, and there's my one that's decorated, if you like, with red buttons. I thought let's change the buttons to red.
Okay.
Ah.
So all the red ribbon means is it's just a different model. I mean, it's the same model. It's still a 12587. It's just it's not the, you know, there's different types, you know, that can be hacked. I believe there are 2 of the old school ones that can be hacked, like you know, by bending the pin, and then there's the newer model that you have to go in and actually put the toggle switch in and connect whatever. Yeah, so that's all that means.
So
you get a switch on it
inside.
Yeah, this one has a pin. Literally, you just bend the pin and jobs are good. And I think it's like the 8th pin or something. And what this one has. This one, instead of having pins, it's like a ribbon cable. And usually you have a big you have a big switch on the outside you have to flick, and the screen doesn't actually scroll. The screen stays where it is, but it's scanning. But this thing seems to be scanning. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, but like I said, thank you, Louis Fisk. I don't know what to do with you, dude. I don't know what to do with you. Too kind.
That's awesome, dude. That's absolutely awesome.
Really, that's a lovely gesture, a really lovely thing to do.
I mean, this one, like I said, since Spirit attacked it, people said, oh, it sounds better. There's a lot of bleed over on this one. So they're not the same anymore. This is probably the only one in the world like it. I don't know what communication I can get. I need to compare the two, you know. And, yes, they are separate. They are different, if that makes sense. Otherwise, there'd be no need. Does that make sense? I don't know.
With a lot of the static that you will get on that old one, if you can call it old now, that's going to aid them a lot. It's going to assist them a lot in speaking, but you might not hear it audibly. You'll have it on a point where you'll be having to play it back to actually hear it.
Like Shotgun said it. I mean, he said, "Oh, this one seems to, it seems to work loads better. They're talking more and stuff, and it does feel like it's there's a lot more going on. But there is bleed over on it, which is like good. Bleed over is where you have such a strong station that it overtakes everything. That does seem to happen for some weird reason. But yeah, it's just interesting.
They can hijack that. They can do voice hijack.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
I do want to say, actually, what I've noticed, Riley, with the one that just recently broke that you did the ghetto fix on, it seems to have changed the sweep speed a little bit, so that way they're able to speak longer sentences. They're able to use more audio. So what I'm finding while listening is rather than getting little clips, they're giving you full sentences. And yes, there is bleed over, but in a weird way, that's as if it's helping them, because now that gives them even more audio to manipulate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels like it's going quicker as well, and it clicks as well. Like on my last video last night, click, 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 click. You can hear it clicking as it's scanning, which is quite weird. But yeah, it seems to go faster. I mean, I'll compare it in another video, but it seems to be sweeping faster at a faster rate, which is weird.
Okay. Real quick, I do want to say before we move on. So I was watching you guys, and you guys were discussing Death Seekers. One thing I do kind of actually want to correct a little bit is, believe it or not, Roku, the broadband company, is actually really big, and this show is going to be not just a filler, but it's actually going to be a pretty big deal, believe it or not. We actually do have the potential to become little, I say C-list celebrities through this, but at least we will get, this is the potential to actually get noticed by higher paranormal groups, perhaps even give us opportunities to work with some of these people in the future. So
they were.
I do hope so.
So I just assumed it was a small digital company, looking to make their TV bigger, fill in some airspace. Hey, you guys are pretty cool. I thought it was that sort of deal. I didn't realize they were quite big.
Oh, Riley. Because Mark and Jane both have exceptional editing skills as well. This is actually going to be a really professional show here, and believe it or not, we actually might get paid for this too. So just so you know, we might. We haven't. We have to make the shows first and give it to them and discuss it through contract. But there is a potential to get paid a little bit through this.
Just be aware that sometimes if they want to pay, then they might have a little bit of a loophole. We'll pay you if. So I'm really excited for you guys. One, because you can set an example. You can help others.
Sure.
That not everything's going to be instantaneous. That you will have occasions where you'll have communication. Did you hear my talk with Riley, Andrew, about the choking sensation?
On this chat here?
Yeah.
No, I unfortunately I had to run up and I was on the phone with Jane for the last 10 minutes. So unfortunately I missed that. I'm sorry.
I thought I'd just make a mention. You know how you said you've been threatened or that type of stuff about being choked or killed or whatever. If you ever feel like your throat is closing in, as I explained to Riley, I get that when I go to a cemetery and I get a lot of the spirits around me. When they get closer to me, the crowd of those people, those spirits, they actually connect with your energy field, which compresses it. And the first area that they're going to affect will be the throat chakra. So if you do get that kind of feeling, know that there's more than one. There's probably about, when I get about over 4, that's when I feel like my throat's closing in. So it does give that kind of feeling, when they get really close. If you think about a balloon and then you get more balloons and you press the balloons together, that middle balloon goes in. Or say, for example, you're holding a balloon, you squeeze it, it begins to tighten in one area. So it's compressing that air space. And if you think about the throat, the oxygen goes down there. You've got all that openness there. Mm-hmm. That's probably the only area of your body, basically, that has a flow of oxygen going through it. So it compresses. It does compress. So just to let you know, if you do go and find that happening, mm-hmm. know you've got more than, I would say, it's depending on how the strength of it is. You might even feel disorientated. I feel disorientated when I've got, 4 or more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have experienced that myself. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, it makes it hard to swallow too because your throat feels so tight. So it's just, they're not doing anything to you. It's just they're coming close to you.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. But don't forget, when you go out there, I would actually take along a crystal.
Oh, I always keep one on me. I always keep one on me.
Yeah,
because as I was saying to you, Riley, even if you say a prayer is really important. Before you go into a location you're not familiar with, you don't know what's in that location firstly. You don't know whether anyone has gone out there and taunted any type of spirit in that location. And just like us, spirits get their back up and it's like, well, I'm not putting up with this crap, so they will take it out on you before you even have a chance of communicating.
Wow. Well, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Mm-hmm. I went out to a cemetery one day and just to speak to, it was a Castlereagh cemetery. And there have been that many people that have gone down there looking for Sarah because she's known to be haunting that location, as they say. But there's more than Sarah there. Sarah's just, the main person that they speak about because she was actually raped and killed and her body was left. And she was supposed to be marrying, or she was in love with a married guy. So with that, there was a story behind it. And, I mean, you've always got these fantastic stories behind a lot of it. But there's one spirit out there who is like a preacher in this location. And he's guarding them. He's really guarding them. He actually told me that he's not going to let any of them go. So, anyway, people have been going out there taunting because of these stupid shows like, ghost hunters and stuff like that, where they swear at them and they say, come on, come and touch me, come and do this, or, they do that. And people think that's how you do it. But
no.
I feel
just asking for it.
That's right. But they have already shown spirits that you can't trust the living. And this is where you can make a difference by showing the respect that they deserve and not forcing them, but welcoming them. And through that, you'll actually get more. It's like, the old saying, you get more bees with honey. So it's
vinegar.
You're absolutely right. I myself find that I get better evidence not goading any kind of spirit, but showing respect. In fact, I seem to get the best when I treat them as if they're still living humans. You know, if I talk to them as if I have known them, or they're, you know, just as if there was a person on the street. You know, and that is normally how I get my best evidence.
Mm-hmm. But you know, as I was saying too, one thing that's funny when I've gone into a cemetery and I'll see other people come into cemeteries, right? And this is in broad daylight. Spirits are there day, night, doesn't matter what hour. And
sure,
it's funny because people walking into the cemetery or getting out of their car, it's like all of a sudden they've got this swarm of spirits coming up to them. And I've often sat there watching, and people must wonder, what the hell's this woman looking at us for? But I'm fascinated with the fact that they're so interested. Because as soon as you start talking to them, they think, oh, other people are going to talk to us too. I've got one of them, and he's never really given me his name, but he's got a real guttural kind of voice. And he actually said to me, thank you for treating me respectfully, because he had spoken to someone who went out trying to communicate, and they called him a demon, you know, because of the way he sounds. But so this is another thing. Don't be the sound of the person or spirit talking, because if they sound like a real guttural, deep type of voice, it might be a scary sounding voice, but doesn't mean they're a demon, you know. And he's a lovely, lovely person. Every time I go out there, I always get a hug from him. You know, thank you for coming to visit. And I've got him on recording, and this was at the main cemetery, the Rookwood necropolis, which is one of the largest.
It's miles and miles, isn't it, of graves and that. Yeah.
And there's all different cultures there too, you know, all different, you know, like you've got your Muslim section, you've got the Anglican, the Catholic, you've got the Russian Orthodox. Everything is there, even, you know, Greek and Chinese. It's amazing. All these sections, but in one location. And
just gonna get live in a sec. Keep talking.
Rub your legs together, Riley.
All right.
Yeah, so it'd be really fascinating. I mean, I don't have pay TV or anything like that, so I'm assuming it's going to be on pay TV.
Yeah, you're gonna what a lot of people do in the States is they buy these little sticks off of Amazon that give them a large amount of shows. Mm-hmm. It's like the alternative to getting like satellite. So we're going to be on a Roku station, which you know, people get the stick, they put them in the TV, and that gives them like you know, a couple hundred TV shows or channels. I mean, and we're going to be on one of those channels. And I honestly think it's probably because right now, especially with Nick Groff having his own show, Ghost Adventures doing their next season, ghost hunting shows are getting quite popular again. You know, they're definitely what's kind of hot right now on regular cable. So I think Roku is trying to cash in on it a little bit, and they saw Jane's work, and then when Jane told them, well, hey, I actually got an even better, you know, a group of really likable people that are all going to be for this, you know, a great team. They got pretty excited about that, you know.
Oh, that's wonderful. And she's such a lovely person too. So you know, I'm
yourself
among the thorns.
Well, the whole team is. I'd say the whole team is just going to be rock stars. I mean, I know every time we live stream, Mark tries to identify each of us as having some kind of trait, you know. But in all honesty, just looking at it, I mean, experience and personality is where it hits, and the five of us all have our own like strong online personas that people come to see, not just the evidence, but they enjoy seeing us as well, you know. Which you know, I
was so surprised people like rambles my walks. I was so surprised as people say, "Oh yeah, I like your rambles and what." You do? You do? Really? Yeah. Okay, that's then, you know, if that's what you want. But so yeah, you have got a point, I guess. Shotgun. You know, I was very surprised at that people engage with that. You know.
Oh yeah, well, people get invested in you. You know, if you open up a bit, show your personality, kind of like how I just started letting my own sense of humor start coming in through my videos and whatnot. People get invested. It's like even you, Karen. People don't just come for your investigations. You've given yourself. You've let people meet you. You know, they now get to understand a little bit of who Karen is. They come to see you and support you, not just for your content, but for the content of your person. You know,
as the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
So that's what, you know, a lot of this is going to be. You know, I guarantee you this show even, I mean, part of it is going to be the investigation, the history of the place, but then a good portion of it, I'm assuming, is actually going to be just like outtakes of us all, you know, making it there and, you know, just having a good time, really. I mean, this whole thing is about just living life, doing what you love to do, and, you know, just getting out there and having fun. So
live happy. Is that what it says for Paranormal? I know you done one video a little while back. Austin, come back to us. Get that 587 back off your mate and come back to us. Because that's just holding it for you.
It's hard to hear.
Riley, I'm having trouble hearing you. You sound really raspy all of a sudden.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Frock, come back to us, because that woman who has your 587, even she says she's only holding on to it. So come back to us, Frock Paranormal, because we enjoy your stuff too, you know?
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know how much of Frock Daddy you watch. He's doing all right on there. I'm actually surprised at how many things you can mix with chewing tobacco and get, you know, views off of it. But yeah.
Yeah. That's Persona. Persona. He's quite a funny dude. I mean, we had a bromance a little bit. I think it's died now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't talked to him in a minute either. He's kind of he's doing his own thing and whatnot. He's really invested in his other YouTube channel right now. That you know, doing that and hanging out with his family and all that. So he's trying to back off from the paranormal a little bit.
Yes, I know. He just said he don't want to be that guy. Well, a bit like me, really, just doing it 24/7, not spending time with his family. You know, I understand his reasoning, but obviously he did his own annotations, his own editing. I imagine it took a lot more time.
We're losing you again, Riley. We're losing you again.
I said, Frock, he does his own editing. It's quite time consuming, whereas someone like me just presses record and whatever comes out, you know. So he said that it was just too much of his time. So with the tobacco thing, it's similar to what I do. He just presses record, chew some tobacco, he's sick, records it, happy Christmas, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, that's a lot of it, too, with humor channels like his. Is, I mean, I'm sure most of it he doesn't even script. It's just his personality. But, you know, again, this only goes to stronger proof just any kind of YouTube channel, any kind of show in general. People come to watch not just for the content, but for the people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, True Seekers alone, everybody now has... The reason True Seekers feels like a family is because of the fact that we all get to know each other. We all support each other, but we all let ourselves shine through. We're not all hiding behind some kind of persona and, you know, trying to be something we're not. And we're definitely not just hiding ourselves and only relying on content, you know? So a lot of Death Seekers, I can guarantee you, will be just us, you know, goofing about and, you know, just having fun. So it'll be fun. It'll be good. I think that if you can make a name for yourself on YouTube just from personality and content, we'll do great on the big screen.
Oh, wow.
Riley, I don't know what's going on with your audio, but it's really cutting out bad.
Let's try.
I think it's
Yeah.
that lollipop needs some aluminium around it.
Yeah.
Get yourself an alfoil hat.
Yeah. Hold up, Footlet. Hang on.
All right.
Am I much clearer now?
Hold on.
Now
Try talking.
I posted the link in the chat room for those who want to join, just copy the link. If you want to join, because some of them I've sent out.
Ground
I have sent out an invite, but I've yet to. Okay, so I'll post the link here again. Just copy the link. Did you copy the link and join, Andrew?
Sorry, what'd you say?
When I sent that link in the chat,
Yeah.
did you just copy that? Yeah.
I copied the one that you sent in Google Plus. But the one in the chat will work. So yeah, just copy paste it, put it into the URL if you want to join in. Yeah. And let's see. But we'll see. Maybe nobody wants to join in. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
There you go. I've customised them. Look, crosses on each one. So
Nice. Good job, buddy. No, that's
selling
not bad.
these for £1,000. Special red paint that allows you to get really
Mark,
good spirit. You can get really good spirit.
Sorry.
Can't hear you?
I'm trying to multitask. Not very good at it at the moment.
I was just saying, it's really bad.
Sorry, this is kind of hilarious. Riley, I don't know which was better with or without the headset, but your audio is pretty sketchy right now.
What about now?
That sounded all right.
Ground control to Major Tom. Are you reading me?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
This spirit box is now up for sale because it's got special red paint that allows you to communicate better with the 100% positivity because of the moon and the stars. With the cross as well, this is also worth another £1,000. Anyway.
Yeah, just contact Riley in private. Look for the order of magnitude newspaper and find the advertisement in it. You know.
Okay.
LEDs will not help you any further. Just to let that go out.
I've sent it, Mark. I've sent it to the Facebook. Oh my God. I don't know how Zara does it. She's like a whiz.
I give her credit. She is. She is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very quick.
Okay, so apparently the link in chat isn't live. Tell you what, Karen, I'm just gonna copy paste the link that you sent me.
Facebook. I've sent it to the Facebook. Paranormal.
Okay.
There he is.
Hey guys, I managed to get in.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hello. Hi guys.
Welcome.
Just in time. Amazing.
Okay, so we're waiting on Jane now.
So I got 20 minutes.
Jane.
So let's hope she makes it.
Yeah, the link, in the YouTube chat, it wasn't clickable as such, and I couldn't copy and paste it either, so I don't know if it's...
Oh, okay.
But I'm here,
That's
that's all that matters. I'm here, so thank you for letting me come in anyway, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. And congratulations to you. How
Thank you.
exciting.
Very, 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 very exciting.
That's brilliant. And it's as I said, and I'll repeat it again, make sure that you are protecting yourselves before you even step foot into the place. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but I feel you're gonna have a lot.
Well, I hope so.
Jane in particular, I actually feel she's going to be drawing the children to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, I just get this feeling of a lot of young energy. So I think she'll
yeah.
connect really well with the children.
I'm sure that. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I'm just so excited to get started and to work with you guys, and it's just gonna be awesome, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this weekend alone, just getting to meet up finally, and kind of get Bodman Jail going, or at least see if we can't get it going. And I mean, it'll be cool because we're going to be doing those 2 spots on either Sunday night or Monday night. I'm going to talk to Jane about maybe doing it Sunday night because I hear Monday's supposed to rain pretty bad. But obviously that's not going to be for Death Seekers. That's just going to be like a little fun run for us. But I mean, altogether, just getting to work it all out is going to be great. We'll obviously try and get Bodman Jail a good date so that Riley is coming with us, and because we will work everything around your schedule, Riley. So don't even worry about that. We got you.
That's really, really
Are you
helpful, sir.
planning on doing both day and night?
Sorry, what?
Are you going to be doing both day and night?
That's a good question. I think we're going to attempt to do mostly night investigations. That seems to be the best communication, is overnight stays and whatnot. But
Okay. Lockdown.
Yeah, lockdowns. I mean, that's where I think the money shot's at. But I totally see us doing like daytime things here and there, just posting them up, not necessarily for the show, but just for the Death Seekers. I mean, there's so much opportunity here, from live streams, selfies, obviously, and overall, yeah, daytime having fun, and then actually doing the episodes for lockdown investigations.
That's great.
Well, if you need picking up or anything, Riley, just let us know and we can be there.
That'd be really, really helpful. I mean, Shotgun doesn't have transport. He's reliant on trains and buses. Does Jane drive, Drew? Shotgun?
Dave, her husband, drives. But I was going to say, for the most part, Riley, I want you to understand, you and me are literally in between Mark and Jane. So if Mark is heading up to Jane, that's like literally stopping. He has to go through you and then through me just to get up there. And same with Jane, and if Jane and Dave come down, they have to come through our neck of the woods just to get all the way to Mark.
Okay, that's good, man.
And also, taking a train is not a problem for me anyway. So I don't have to be picked up every time. I can, if Mark is more than happy to give you lifts. If we're going somewhere else and we're meeting somewhere, I'm more than happy hopping on a train and getting there myself anyway. So we will work everything out. We're pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty
Flexible.
much we're flexible. Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, I obviously met Mark, met Simon, proving you can run on a collaboration with me, which is a collaboration.
Riley, I'm not hearing you at all. I'm sorry. I can't hear a word you're saying.
You'll have to pick up your phone. Pick it up.
Yeah.
Jane, it's up Jane.
Okay.
Not working. Not working, Riley. It's not working.
Okay.
Am I deaf?
No.
Am I deaf? Am I the only one not hearing him?
Oh, here, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hello.
Hey, Jane. How you
Hello.
doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you all?
Good.
Doing pretty good.
Good, good.
Congratulations.
Thank you
just
very
said-
much.
The person I met is there she is now, so to say, in real life.
What was that in English?
Person.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Jane is going to be putting you guys in line.
What?
Just see it.
can't hear a word.
Okay. Riley, I know you're trying desperately and you're breaking up really bad. Can you hear us just fine, or are we breaking up to you?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I've just realized asking you a question, Riley, I still can't hear your answer, so that was just a dumb idea on my part.
He nodded.
Riley,
He was nodding.
okay, he's calling us back. Word.
Cool.
He'll be back.
Hey,
I was
you
saying-
guys, I'm going to be right back. My dog is freaking out. I just want to see if there's someone at the door.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Jane, you'll be keeping those guys in line, won't you?
Oh, absolutely. Someone's got it.
Right. Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me now? Am I
Yeah,
here?
that's better.
Yeah,
I said, I have not met yet. I've met Mark live, met Simon live. Woof, woof, woof. I've met Jane. Woof. Woof.
Yeah, let me see what I...
Woof. Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Yeah, the only person I met is Jane, so looking forward to meeting Jane and her dog.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all right.
You're taking a dog along.
No.
God, this is not going well. Can you hear me or not? Or is it really out back?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear you.
good.
We can hear you fine.
Right, yeah, like I said, I met Mark, I met Simon, Proven done a collaboration with me as well. It's just you, Jane, I haven't met yet. So, yeah, it's good when I eventually get there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's it, that's all I can say. There's nothing else for me to say there. There's nothing important, so carry on. I'll just slowly fade away.
So, have you got anything that you can share about, you know, like where the first location without giving it away, of course, will it be in a castle? Will it be in a location that's open?
Okay. Well, it's a huge old jail. Andrew was just talking about it, called Bodman Jail. We're hoping that's going to be the first location. I've got the guys coming down to stay with my family, and we're going to go and case the place out. I've investigated it probably 15 times now, and it's absolutely amazing place.
So
It's,
you were saying you actually had a lot of activity in that location from memory.
Yeah, there's personally, I've experienced seeing shadows. It is often being touched. There's a lot of oppressive feelings. There was a lot of torture there. There was something like 53 people hung there. But there's a lot of audible EVPs that you can hear with your ears. Yeah, it's an amazing place. You walk in and you walk into the energy. It's really thick.
Jane, you've been there like 15 times. There could be a possibility you'd be familiar and known by regular spirits that may haunt there, possibly.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like good cooperation from their side to bring us the readies, so to say.
Yeah, definitely. I've never been there and not had a result so far.
Oh, no. Oh.
Not had
Riley.
no result.
Well,
Yes.
Riley, if you get a chance, Riley, look it up online. Just Google image search it so you can get an idea of how awesome this place is. It's a really big building.
What's the name of it?
I think I have watched Jane's video on it, on the North Cornwall. Was that the one? I swear I've watched the
North
video.
Cornwall Paranormal, the Into the Shadow series.
Yeah, I think I have watched it before. I know what it's like. It's very dingy, isn't it? Very dingy sort of place. And kind of blue, if that makes sense. Blue sort of colour inside. Do you know what I mean when I say blue?
What's the name of the place?
Bodman Jail.
B-O-B?
B-O-D-M-I-N.
I see. At Cornwall.
Cornwall, yeah. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's absolutely huge. It's really, really a huge place. And There's
Do a screen
there's
share.
lots going on there.
Actually see.
When did it go out of commission? When did it stop being used?
1923,
Oh, right, okay.
and it's been used since 1779.
Wow. Cool.
Wow.
What
That's
happened to
a-
High Priestess?
Oh. I've got a the. I think that's her. The paranormal. Karen, are you here?
I'm here.
I
Okay.
think
Oh,
she's
you
looking
are?
at Bodman Jail.
I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening. I think it's
Oh, no, she's trying to show us something. That's why. That's why she's come. She's trying to show us something. Screen share.
kind of yeah. I think it's this silly thing. What is
Yeah,
that?
if you all want to look at North Cornwall Paranormal, look at the Into the Shadows series that I done, and you'll see it's on one of them, on one of the
Okay.
six of the Into the Shadows series that I done.
Yeah, I do remember watching it. It's good.
Give me a
Yep.
sec.
Thank you.
You went into the actual jail yourself, didn't you? The actual cell, if you like, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I do remember
That's
watching.
right.
It's a couple
So-
stories high, isn't it? But the ceiling is taken out, so it's like got part of it anyway. It's got clear skies up above. There's tons of cells
That's
in there.
only one. That's only one part of it.
Yeah. And then they got
The
the
rest of it-
mannequins everywhere from like little mannequins of officers beating prisoners. They got mannequins of people hanging by nooses, like things that will really surprise you if you bump into one in the middle of the night. So should be fun.
All right.
Well, that piece that you've seen without the roof on, that's almost like a separate building. The one that will be going in as well is actually 5 floors high.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I also saw some images online of like some tunnels and whatnot. Like there is an inside place, and they have one section that looks like maybe a kitchen or something, and they had like 2 female mannequins in there with like a whole kitchen set up, and it looks like it's in a really dark corridor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
That's
see
right.
how my fear of heights copes at 5
Yeah.
levels. Because I
There's
do
also
have a fear
there's,
of heights.
This is so weird. I can't.
Can't get it up.
No.
That's weird.
there's original death masks in there as well. Of the people that were hung, they used to take mouldings of their face and turn them into
Oh.
death masks.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I'm so morbid. That is.
There it is.
I like that sort of shit.
Yep. There it is.
That's it. That there is actually called the naval wing, and that bit of the building is actually just a shell of a building. Behind that is the bit that we'll be investigating, which is like twice the size.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and that bit that you just had on, the naval wing, is actually very soon. It's going to be turned into something like a 50-bedroom hotel. So we will be lucky to get in there and do the naval wing before it's actually changed into a hotel.
Oh yes, please.
So we'll be the last lot, and so to say,
I
the last
hate.
of the people to do it.
I hate when they destroy history like that, though. I really do. It bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like my school. I had in a Victorian school, and the year I left my primary school, well, they just basically demolished most of it. Some of it still stands. It's now an art gallery for expensive art that nobody actually wants. But yeah, I mean, I wish they carried on. It's a Victorian school. It's beautiful, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame when they take down something for something pointless.
Yeah.
Oh, and they even have
Look at Bob.
weddings there. Wedding shoots.
Yeah.
Yep. They did
See,
a whole
when the
shebang.
improvement went, most of Bath is not like Roman-like anymore. They made new buildings that look like they're Roman, if that makes sense, but it's not the actual, you know, the style of it they tried to keep, but they just demolished all. It's all new in Bath. It doesn't look very good, you know. Well, me improving found anyway. That's why we went to our little forest getaway to do our session.
Yeah, it's true, and it's becoming more and more like that. So definitely, we should take advantage of what we have now, and you know, investigate where we can before they all disappear. So,
And
Well, look back on it.
so
I've had a chat with the castle, I was hoping we might be able to get down there this weekend, but we're not going to be able to. But he is very interested in seeing us for an investigation, lads.
Oh, that's great.
And I've also sent some emails off to what is claimed to be one of Europe's most haunted homes for an upcoming investigation as well. I've not had a reply yet, but normally the replies take 72 hours or so to come through because the property in question is extremely busy. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching right now will probably know which particular property I'm talking about, but it is one of Europe's most haunted homes.
The family had the haunting.
That's the one.
Wow. That's cool. Very cool.
I was saying that I get a very strong feeling you're going to do well where there's young kids.
What was that?
In relation to...
Say again?
I with Jane, I feel that she's going to do very good, especially where there's areas where there are young children. Now, I don't know whether there are young children that has their souls in that jail area for some reason. I get a young female. So it's been like the last few days I've been having these visions of you communicating with young kids, but more in particular a female. Now, can you understand why I would be seeing a particular young female, like a young girl?
Yeah, possibly. There's lots of spirits in there. They reckon the youngest boy that was actually jailed was 3 years old, and he was jailed for 2 weeks for pinching some bread because he was a little street urchin.
Oh my God.
Wow. Sad.
Wakey, Mark.
Would they have had any girls in this location as well?
Yeah. It's got a complete female wing.
Oh, wow.
Because it's been so weird. I just get this feeling you're going to have an incredible connection with a young child. And I picked up a female. Where's Mark gone?
I reckon he's dropped his phone. Let him in.
Oh? Did he fall asleep? He's a bit tired. He looks a bit tired. Oh, here he is.
Did you drop your phone?
No, somebody tried to ring me and it kind of threw me off.
Well, your picture froze as you were closing your eyes. It looked like you fell asleep.
We got a really bad echo.
Is there a spirit? Is there? Echo. Hang on. Right.
No, it's still the same. I think it's Mark.
Somebody.
Don't think it's me.
Okay, somebody has their volume on too high.
Right, I'm going to see if it's me. Hang on. I'm going to turn it off. It's not showing that it's me. Hold tight.
Do a process.
It's me.
It's your fault, Mark.
Okay, I'll come back in a sec. I'll grab my headphones, guys.
Oh, bless your heart. Oh,
What?
Oh, that's better.
Yep.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked, Jane. I it was so vivid. I'm seeing this young girl, and I'm getting the connection with you, talking away with this young kid. And I thought, I wonder where they're going. That's why I was like, forgive me.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it all works out. There's been a young girl in the past, so it's there's some good communication, hopefully.
Yeah.
You're going to do wonderful. I really get I get so much positiveness with it. And I'm excited for you. I really am, because you're going to be able to finally set a precedent. You're going to be able to show people how to really investigate without having to insult the intelligence of spirits as well. You know.
Yeah.
So that's excellent, guys.
Absolutely.
Can you guys all hear me all right?
Yeah, that's
much
better.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. You're almost human there, Mark.
You what, sorry, Karen?
You're almost human. You're not feedback and everything like some kind of alien location.
Well, somebody tried to ring me. Somebody tried to ring me, and it just screwed it all up. So I'm sorry about that, but you know.
Karen, that's what happens to me when they ring me. My volume goes cocky, and I have to put my headphones in and take them out again, or else I can't hear you. If you remember, I get the same.
Your volume sounds a lot better now, Riley, too.
Yeah, you sound better, Riley.
I wonder if it's because we've got so many people on now.
Probably. Who knows?
It could be. I'm finding it's having a hard time with two people talking at once. That's what I'm noticing anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Lord. Okay. Oh, Mark, while you're here, I might as well show you. I've showed everybody else. But look what came through the post today.
I've already seen. I saw you unpack.
Oh, did you? Oh, what a short
I saw you. I saw you unpack.
Oh, I didn't.
So thank you, Luke, for watching. Thank you, you crazy man.
Yeah, Riley, you really are blessed, man. I must say, people have really shown their kindness with you, and that's just wonderful. It really is nice to see people helping others out, and that just goes to show how much support you have. I mean, people, they see you have any kind of issue, and because they love you so much, they love the work you do, that they automatically want to help you in any way, shape, or form they can, just to keep you going. And that there alone is a sign that one, you shouldn't stop. Don't do. No, I won't say that. I won't say a joke I was about to say, but just this is something that just shows that this is something you should be doing. Definitely don't give up on it. Especially with joining this Death Seekers too. I highly suggest. Everybody wants to see you and all of us work together. So just
Well, I know
whatever
my
it takes.
fans. I know our fans and subscribers and followers across Facebook and Twitter, and obviously on YouTube as well. It must be the best part of 10,000 that follow us. They've all been crying out for you, Riley. Every single one of them.
That's why I actually had to share Riley's video with the sales.
Oh, that was so funny. You had me laughing so hard, Riley. I was just, oh my God, it was just crazy.
Here I am trying to sort of keep a semi-intelligent persona on Facebook, and I pop up this video and I said, "You watching? The subs are gonna soar with this one."
I'm slightly. I've got someone sending me another cost box, so that will be another community spirit box for the next person down. Mark Chambers, I think, is the next one, and then Maria Lally's after. So yes, more community spirit boxes on the way too. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that Truth Seekers is one of those communities that actually likes to get everybody involved. I mean, that's just epic.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool. Although, if anyone's watching in the USA, if you want a spirit box, community ghost box, sign up by tomorrow, because I don't know if they're carrying on because it's up to them. But they got nobody signed up. Everyone wanted one, and then when it came to it, no one bothered. So we got all these radios, but no one's claiming to want to have a go. So if you want it, get on Truth Seekers and put a post up asking what, etc. In the USA, I'm on about.
I'm quite surprised nobody signed up for that, to be honest.
Praise for it. Yeah, I want one. And then when it comes to it, everyone's just like, maybe everyone got a box, because a lot of people were, oh, I've got a spare one, mate. I got a spare one. They all sort of got handed out, didn't they? All these people said, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? They all sort of got dispersed. I think a lot of them have got actual keeper boxes as opposed to borrowed boxes. So that's probably what it is. But if you do need a box and you want to borrow one for a bit, and you're in the USA, or even if you're in England, actually, I mean, come to me, come to Truth Seekers. But if you're in the USA, get on Truth Seekers and put a post up saying, hi, I'm in USA, I want a box, what do I do? And, someone will help you.
So, Riley, are you going to let me borrow that 469 permanently?
I just got to light a cigarette.
I take that as a no, then.
Yeah, of course I will. Of course I will. I was only joking. I just like to build up suspense, for a bit of answer. Can you hear me? Don't tell me you can't hear me.
Yeah, no, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Yes,
there we go.
You can't see. Yeah, of course I can, Jane. You can borrow that. Give it a go.
I think Mark's on again.
Oh, God.
No, I'm here.
He's here.
Oh, hello.
When we all meet up for the actual investigation, if we all bring individual spirit boxes and whatnot, we'll give them all a try, won't we? See what happens. See,
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be using much more than spirit boxes. These investigations, I mean, spirit box, I think, is only going to be a small portion of it, because we also have E.V.P. We're going to have the Boo Bear, the REM pod bear. We're going to have actual REM pods. We're going to have all kinds of equipment. So
trigger objects, yeah,
spirit
SLS
box
camera.
is only going to be a small portion. SLS, that's
SLS
one of my
camera,
favorite pieces of equipment for sure. I love SLS. But yeah, no, these investigations are going to go heavy duty.
A little bit of advice.
What's that?
Huh?
With the SLS, if you are seeing the colours, first of all, don't assume that spirit energy, because the colours are basically showing where the sound and the ray coming from the actual device is bouncing off back to the equipment. But what you do, and this is what I have found works better, ask the spirit to stand in a certain location if they wish to cooperate. Now, a lot of times if you get, and this is what I proved in my video at one point, a lot of times you get them up against walls and stuff like that. But it's something to get them standing actually in a doorway where there is nothing behind it. Then you know that you're tracking a real spirit. Because I had one that I said, can you stand in the doorway, please? Now, this was, once Chris, he wouldn't cooperate. He said, I'm not an effing dog. And I said, fair enough. And then another occasion I asked if there is anyone that wants to help me, just to prove that you aren't, imaginary, and this isn't just a flaw in the equipment. But not only did they stand in that doorway, they jumped. They actually leapt through up into the ceiling.
I still think that one where you caught on the screen, you and I, we got them on the Connect turning on the lamp. I mean, people say, well, there's an anomaly that was by the lamp itself, but then the freaking thing turned on. Do you know what I mean? You have to touch the lamp. It's only a little light touch lamp. It's not a switch, but even so, there's an anomaly there. So, okay, that's a glitch, but then it turns on. So something has to be there, That was just, that was.
And that's where you could probably use something like the REM pod and put the REM pod down and say, I really would appreciate, because I tell you what, the sweetness in your voice goes a long way with spirit. They are drawn to that, the acknowledgement, and that's where if you say, I'd really appreciate if you can just help show people who have doubt about the afterlife, who have lost so many loved ones, and you're able to help them. Imagine how this is going to, it's going to go in their favour too on the other side. There are some spirits who have the opportunity of crossing, but they feel that they've done so much wrong in their life that they don't deserve it. And
Sometimes, sorry, Karen. Sometimes what I've found with the SLS camera is if, for example, you had, say, some boxes with a ball on the top, the SLS camera sometimes thinks that that's a person. So it's obviously very important to try and figure out what it's tracking.
yeah,
But as you say, as you say, you know, it's important to try to get them to validate that they are really there. So what we often ask them to do is something similar to what you've said already, you know, ask them to stand in an area where there's nothing there, whether that's a doorway, or get them to wave at you on command, or get them to lift a leg or something intelligent, and we often get that. But the other piece of equipment that we've got as well is actually the thermal camera, which will be quite interesting to use as well on investigations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, with the thermal camera, if you hold it in one position in like an area where you ask them if they, you know, if they're welcome to come through, they're absolutely welcome. I mean, first of all, if you can discuss with them about your reasons for being there, the reason behind you filming, the reason behind you wanting to talk with them, gives them an understanding of the purpose, because this is what I've noticed a lot of shows don't do. They just go out there and if anyone here want to talk, they don't know the purpose behind it. They don't know whether they're trying to entrap them and cause something as a way of abusing the spirit.
Strangers go, you know, you're in a train station, you just goes on, hi, you know, tell me your name. Well, who the fuck are you? You know?
Exactly.
You know,
if
so
they
it
get
must
stuffed.
Yeah, it must be a bit like that. Well, I mean, are you talking to me because we're in a different dimension? Well, there's nobody else here, so he must be talking to me. Well, I don't know this guy, you know. So it must be a lot like that.
I speak from personal experience, and I believe Mark does as well, that when we investigate, we explain what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know.
Me and Andrew did that when we went.
Well, look at Ruth, for example. I mean, I consider the evidence of Ruth stepping in front of the camera and manifesting, and with her beautiful big smile and everything, to be something that many would give their right arm to have.
Sure.
And this is a spirit who, in this lifetime, she herself had a fascination for the afterlife. She said she could never see them herself, but she said, I always wondered if there was life after death. And she said, I would be absolutely honoured to show, you know, people that there is. And I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe that I'm actually having someone be so willing to manifest in front of the camera, actually physically manifest. And I was shaking. I was like, oh, my God, I don't know how this is going to be taken. How are people going to react to this? All these things go through my mind. And all she said was, is my makeup, is it okay? You're fine.
I think it's so important, though, to try to build that trust with the spirit people. You know, which is why when I'm sure you've all seen our videos, you know, we often tell them these devices, they're not meant to hurt you. We're not here to trick you. We're not here to catch you out. We're here just to capture evidence of the afterlife and to possibly help as well, wherever possible. And I think it's important to do that.
Oh, yeah. I do want to say, sorry, I was going to say, even with myself, I have gone to graveyards before, right? I go to graveyards quite a bit to just do my spirit box, E.V.P, and all that. And I find that, you know, if I go in there and I talk, and sometimes even that's not enough. But the moment I start cleaning up graves, start picking up flowers, putting them in place, you know, anything that got knocked over, they'll start coming through very clearly, start thanking me, and they'll be much more willing to talk, you know? You just got to really show them.
I get, then they blow up my box.
Keep in mind, though, Andrew, that they will thank you, but as soon as you begin touching things, sometimes spirit deliberately knocks things over because they know that person will touch it and pick it up. That then allows them to attach themselves to you.
It gives them that channel. It gives them that channel, that energy, that connection. Think of maybe psychometry, perhaps. You know, I totally agree with you there, Karen. Definitely.
So if you go picking up things, and I've actually seen it myself where the spirit has gone over, they've noticed someone walking down the aisle, which is like between the graves, and they've gone pop and knocked over a vase. This person comes up and they go, oh, and they're picking it up. And I see the spirit, it's like they walk around with their arm around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you can't do this. And they're like, shh. You know, they're cunning. They're cunning because, see, in hallowed ground, some of them cannot leave because they have been interned there in some way. Their souls have been, I don't know what kind of prayer method is being used, but I think it's when they say that their body goes back to the ground, that type of thing, because it's such hallowed ground. And sometimes they anoint the ground, which means that is actually containing that area, that space. Those
It's kind of like
souls,
not black magic. You know what I mean? Is that sort of, you know,
No.
like when you say these rituals that hold spirit back in a prayer, it's a force, isn't it? You're making forces with these prayers or rituals or whatever to contain or do. Do I make sense?
There's
at?
Riley, there's many
What it
different ways. There's so many different ways from so many different cultures to do all sorts of things. You know, what Karen was talking about, no, she wasn't talking about black magic or anything like that. Black magic is solely for the purpose of self-gain through the pact with something else, but there are many different ways. Even prayer alone has a lot of power, you know?
Absolutely. And that's why before you even walk into a location, prayer is going to be first and foremost. I mean, even if you just say like I do, Jesus Christ is my Savior, his blood is over me. Everything that is bad will stand back. I don't know what it is. It just stands back. And like I showed those photos of that thing that was in a shawl, like covered completely.
Yeah, same.
It was in a distance.
Yeah. I can't wait.
It stood in a distance. I'm looking forward to seeing those photos, Riley.
Yeah, I can't wait to show you that because it's exactly the same, that hooded thing, but it's far away, you know, quite far away. It's not close to us, but it's just every picture out in the car on the landscape. It's just in the distance, like looking at us. Really weird.
Mm-hmm. But always do that first protection, even if you just say that, you know, or as a group, hold hands and say, Jesus Christ is our Savior, his blood is over us. Have that with you as you walk in there, so that way you're protected. I very much doubt you'll have anything negative. I mean, if you don't do that, you might as well say, you know, any asshole spirits around, come up, no problem.
Right.
But they will impersonate decent spirits. And the whistler, don't forget, you'll also get the whistlers. As soon as you hear the whistler spirits, they try to block communication with other spirits. As soon as they know you've got a link of communicating with another spirit, you'll hear the whistling.
Yeah, I've heard that lots.
Yeah, they will always try to stop that communication.
It's weird
by drowning that spirit out. So that's why they whistle.
Chuds. Right, I have to go, Fertilises, because, it's 1:10 nearly, and I've done bugger all housework, so I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, man.
It's been good to have you here again, Riley.
No worries, thank you. Wake
up and laughing.
Riley, me and Jane also, we sent you a message, but at some point today, me and Jane need to have a quick, just a quick private chat, face-to-face, you, me, and Jane, in regards to Death Seekers. Mark, you're more than welcome to get involved with it too. But it's just a quick update. We want to kind of fill him in on some things that we haven't filled him in yet. just real quick, because I noticed when I was watching when we first came on, like you didn't really know too much about Roku, and just other things. It's just a real quick update because you did sign in later than the rest of us, so there's some things we are aware of that we still haven't filled you in on yet. So
Yeah.
do you know roughly when you'll be available? It'll be like 10 minutes long, just
What I'll do, I'll hang out to you. I'll just send you a text on Hangouts or whatever for you to give me a call or whatever.
We do need to do this today though, before the live stream tomorrow. Okay, before Saturday morning live stream. So let's get it over with today. Just 10 minutes, and we'll chat. The 3 of us or 4 of us. Mark, like I said, you're more than welcome to tag in. It's just an update, just to fill them in.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, no. All right, yeah, that's cool. I'll give you a text when I sort of sorted or whatever, or when I get 5 minutes. Probably in the evening, I expect. That's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Just make
cool.
sure you do. Okay, that's all. This is something that we need to fill you in on before we do
Just
any
remember,
more live
guys,
chats.
Remember, if you do want to do it today, at 5 p.m. today, I'm going to be hosting a charity paranormal investigation for the evening over in Sheffield. So if you wanted me to be there, it would be better for me to do it within the next couple of hours or so, rather than in the evening. But it's whatever's best. I'm easy.
That's fine.
Right.
Keep in mind, Mark, whatever we're filling Riley in on, you already are well aware of this. In fact, you're on the same page as us at the moment. So this is really more optional. Again, this isn't anything big. This isn't to, talk about some special plans. This is literally just to fill him in on what he doesn't know yet.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, so if we can do it in the next couple hours, that would be perfect. If we can't, then don't worry. Regardless, Mark, you won't be missing out on anything. It's just a fill-in. But what do you think, Riley? You think you can maybe do this around 3 o'clock? Just have a quick 10, 15-minute chat with the 3 of us?
I'll try, because I've got like 30 things going on. I've got to ring up the council. Nice to do with my council down here, but I've got a lot of things going on. That's why I said evening, really. If I can, I'll text you. Obviously, I've got a lot going on which I've got to sort out. That's my roof over my head. Council fucked me up with stuff.
Okay, I got you. So then, okay, that's fine. We can do it this evening for sure, but this is a mandatory. We have to fill you in before we do any more live streams. All right?
Sleep, before the Saturday stream in the morning, what I always do before then. Way before midnight, if you like. Does that make sense?
I couldn't hear you at all. Your audio's gone to crap.
It will be before I go to bed. That is for sure today.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah, gotcha. I heard you there. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, dude. I really got to clean up. I'm going to ask it.
See you later, Riley.
Right.
See you later.
Hey, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Another thing I just wanted to sort of mention, and I was sort of quickly having a look at the chat room, in relation to asking spirits to use your energy, just be really careful of that, because I don't know how far your mediumship abilities go, Mark, but with my visual, I actually see things that I wish I didn't see. But when a person goes saying, use my energy, the spirits are actually drawing out the energy from your own energy field, which leaves pockets. Like if you think about like potholes in your energy field, you can actually become very drained. I think you said that at the location, but just be in mind, bear that in mind. If you do ask them to use any energy, just take, if you're in an area where you can light a candle, use the candle energy.
Yeah.
Because see, spirit are naturally energy anyway. They don't need to draw on anyone's energy. When you do that, you're actually inviting so much that can affect your body. You can become, all of a sudden, when other spirits do come approaching you, even days after, as soon as they come into contact with you, your energy is so reduced as a result. It's like they're sucking that out of you. And you can fall asleep like that. You can get tired out of the blue. It's like where you feel lethargic. You can go a whole day almost wanting to sleep when that happens. So you've got to be really careful. I've actually seen one person, I took out a group of people from our page, and just to show them, you know, that how it is when you go on investigations. And I said, don't expect, you know, spirits to jump out at you. Don't expect things to be dropping, you know, because you might not think anything's happening, but a lot's happening. And I said, it's when you get back and you review that information, or that whatever the videos and have or whatever, you will then hear them, or you'll capture something that you didn't see physically. Anyway, one of them said, oh, can you use my energy? And I swear I saw this spirit walk up, and they just put their hands out against their energy field, their aura, and it was like all of a sudden they reached in and they're touching that person. They started to say, I feel so tired. I feel like my arm's getting sore. And it was because that spirit was actually pulling out that energy field. I've never, until that day, I had never seen that happen. And there were times before where I would say, you can use my energy. And I would wonder, why do I feel so tired? Because I'd see them do this to me, and I thought they were just using my energy, and they were using my energy, but my energy was not replaced until about a week or two later.
Yeah.
You know, so just bear that in mind. You've got to be really careful, because, and if you happen to get something that's negative, it's like cancer. They can really take a lot from you, and you are then vulnerable. You know, that's when people become vulnerable for attack, because you've got these holes in your aura, basically, and everything's messed up. You might feel off balance. You might get lightheaded when you stand up. People think it's, you know, your blood circuit, you know, kind of thing. Some people can be driving, the next minute they're nodding off for no reason. And this is, they don't have a reason to be tired. They could have had a really good night's sleep, everything, but this drives because they've left themselves vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I would recommend take something like a candle. If you're in an area where it's not too drafty, pop a candle, or even if you've got a shield that kill, that would be the energy. Use the energy of the candle.
Yeah.
And then they will use that.
We actually did an experiment not so long ago on one of our investigations, where we were asking the spirits if they could turn a torch on, a flashlight, and nothing happened apart from the flashlight actually fell apart on its own. It just completely just obliterated on its own, and we had to screw it all back together. It was really strange. But what we did is we actually got the candles out, and we found that the candles, with it being a natural light rather than an artificial light, did seem to give better responses. So I personally do think that spirit may be able to connect with, as you say, candlelight or natural flame, with it being a natural energy, better than, say, an artificial energy such as a torchlight or whatever, you know. So I definitely.
Well, keep in mind, with torches, I actually. There is a guy who has shown how that works, and sadly it is debunkable, because what happens is the connectors where the battery is warms up the terminal, and it sort of like it's just allowing a spark to trigger, which means that it influences.
Yeah. It is debunkable in that sense, but what happened with our torch, we actually had mag lights, and with a mag light, you've got to physically screw the end, you know, or unscrew it to get it to come on. Well, this torch literally unscrewed itself fully and completely disassembled itself. The lens fell out, the LED bulb fell out, everything just disassembled. It was crazy.
I think they're telling you something.
Maybe. I mean that torch as well. I don't know what the equivalent is in dollars, but that torch, I think it cost me about £30, and I'd not had it very long. And I was like, oh my God, that's a £30 torch. You know, that's not a cheap torch. That's quite an expensive torch. You know, and it had just been obliterated. It was like, what the hell?
Well, that's I would probably take that as a hint. Don't
Maybe,
use that.
yeah.
And believe it or not, is water.
Yeah.
If you take water in a bottle and set the bottle down or pour it into like a plastic dish or something, that water will be an energy for it. And this is what people don't realize. I've got one cemetery that I love to go to, and right beneath it, because it's right on the cliff face, beneath that is water, the ocean. So through that constant movement of the water and everything like that, and if you've got the location close to water, you're going to find, like, if it's got a well or some type of, underground water supply, whatever it is, that will also produce a lot of energy, a hell of a lot of energy.
I think though, depending on how you work, Karen, is dependent on where the energy comes from. Because myself, if I'm working and I open up to spirit, then I draw down the universal energy and give that out as energy.
Well, we all have energy. That's number one. But I am always particular about asking them to use your energy. So you can say, okay, I'm using the universal energy, and technically we are every day. This is what helps us to get up in the morning. The sun is also drawing upon us, to provide energy. The moon affects, as an example, a women's menstrual cycle. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but it is very common. The moon controls the tide. We're made up of 70% water. You'll find that, the old saying, there's a full moon out tonight. So there's a lot of weirdos about that kind of thing. There is a reason, because these things work with us. But you've just got to keep in mind, if you go inviting a spirit that you don't know, that you haven't formed a connection with, and you say, you can use my energy to communicate, bang. You don't know what that spirit is like. You don't know how it's going to use your energy. Some of them may come up close to you. They may just, use the energy field that is around you and connecting with the ground, the location. But if there's more in the team anyway, they're going to have that energy bouncing off everybody. I mean, our aura is like 1.5 meters that goes right around us, and it sometimes can have a whiplash effect, because 1 minute it'll travel one way, and then we come into contact with a negative person and it goes back the other way. And this is where you'll get suddenly, I don't like that person. I don't know why I don't like them. There's something that's been triggered as a result of that connection with that person. And it could be whatever they've come into contact with every single day. Every single one of us have some connection with spirit. And you don't have to even leave your home, because you think about how many people die daily. Spirits are traveling the earth. They're going, in every single direction. They're not necessarily going to stay in one location. They can go wherever they want just by thinking, because spirit is conscious. If you think about astral travel, the mind is the energy, the mind itself. That's why even scientists have shown inside the brain there is electricity. These electrical currents, that electricity is gone when a body is dead. Why? Because that's part of the spirit. And that is energy, a natural energy that is inside every human, which also protects us in the energy field. But when you've got that invitation to a spirit that you have not formed a connection with, and when I say a connection, it doesn't mean like go out there once and, oh, hi, I'm so, my name's Karen, what's your name? Great, you can use my energy. And it'd be like, having a one-night stand. You don't do that, especially with spirit. It's just know that spirit. You've got to know what makes them tick, what it is that they're wanting communication with us for. It goes both ways, because it's not only, when you get that connection with the spirit and they're talking to you, you've got to wonder, why do they want to talk to me? Is it because I instigated the conversation, or do they really have a purpose? What makes them tick? What makes them upset? You know, what is their story? Who were they before they were in this situation? What do they think of other people going out taunting them or asking them questions that tick them off? Like, you know, they might ask, can you touch this or whatever? And they're like, this is child's play. A lot of them will say, you know, I died an intelligent person and I'm asked to do things that a child would do. And sometimes they fear doing things because they don't know the capacity in which they are now in spirit. They may feel very limited because they think, I don't have a physical form. My physical form is what touched things. My physical form is what moved things. So it's until they begin to grow more in understanding what their purpose now is as spirit that they will hesitate. Often they will hesitate in doing things because it's like a test of confidence in themselves. Until they can restore their confidence, you know, some people get frustrated that, okay, well, if you're not going to talk to me or you're not going to communicate, you know, go away. And not all of them want to cross over as well. You know, many people think that if a spirit's there, they want to be released, they want to cross over. I've had spirits like Chris. You know, I said, do you want help in crossing over? He said, no, I'm quite happy. You know, I've already crossed over and I choose to visit. So many of them, upon the time of their releasing of their spirit from their body, they've already got their loved ones, you know, taking them over, and they know there's that doorway to come back. So they do come back, and they sometimes just feel comfortable in a particular location. You know, some people get this idea that, you know, when you cross over to the other side, it's just all a big, beautiful garden. You know, my dad came and he said that, you know, he's got a beautiful home. He's got all these things that he never had. I mean, like, he had his own home when he was here, but he talks about the new world, the whole new world waiting for you. And my son talks about how he's training to be a priest on the other side. You know, so this is another thing that, you know, they can work if they want to, but they don't have a form of money. There's no need for money over there. See, we're so materialistic in so many ways. Not only is it our body being the material being, but it's also our desires. Everything is, you know, we are judged according to what we own, whereas spirit doesn't have that. They can have anything they want. They can go wherever they want. They don't have to purchase anything. So it's incredible communications with my dad and other spirits. You know, like, you'll talk about certain things. I'm not the prying type, though, and that's probably one of my biggest problems, even with people. You know, my cousin, for example, my husband said to me, what does your cousin, you know, Ryan, do for a living? I said, I don't know. I don't ask. And he said, you don't ask, and he's your cousin. I'm not interested unless they volunteer that information to me. That's none of my business. That's how I see it. But this is the same with spirit. I've always just talked to them, you know, about whatever they want to talk about and gone from there. And they love the attention. They really do. To be acknowledged means so much to so many on the other side. There, a lot of times also, and this is what has been said to me, and I think you might have heard me say it, Spirit actually said to me, never approach anyone in the street and tell them that there is a spirit around them. And I was like, why? Because, I mean, I've seen children saying, Mummy, can you hear me? And that gets to me. And I question, why can't I? You know, if I've been giving this, why can't I just give someone some peace of mind? You see it on, you know, like Long Island Medium and other things like that. And they said, no, that's ego seeking. If you want us to remain with you, to help others that come to you, then don't do that. And you wonder, why should I be limited in this ability? Why can't I just say, you know, I just wanted to tell you that there is a man next to you who is, you know, saying he's your husband, blah, blah, blah. Once I was in a train, there was an old lady sitting there. She looked like she was in another world. She was just looking so lonely, and yet beside her I could see her husband, and he was just holding her hand. And my heart melted because she didn't know he was there. And honestly, I had to control that impulse in going over and saying to her, your husband's with you, not alone. You know, but I was told, don't do it. Don't do it. And so this is another thing. I mean, when we face all these, we've all got abilities in some way, you know, and when you're given that and you think, why can't I do that? But this is how spirit are. They're funny. They're very finicky with certain things. With the spirits that you do show attention to, though, if you're not, you know, approaching people, you know, that have spirits around them, for example, they said to me that the reason they don't want me doing that, as an, you know, to give you a bit of insight, is because those spirits are usually there until that person has healed. Once they've healed, they'll come and go. They'll just sort of like intervals, you know, drop by and see how they, but them a lot because somehow that person is thinking about them, or they're having this, you know, it's like mentally thinking and connecting with the moment that they shared, or they might be holding their, you know, a part of their jewelry that reminds them of that person. And
sorry to interrupt. I get going because it's late. So I'll talk to you guys later. All right?
Okay, take care.
I think Jane disappeared, by the way.
Jane dropped out.
Yeah, Jane's dropped out.
She'll be back up in just a second. Must have been an accident. But all right, you guys, you have a good day. Mark, I'll message you later when Riley's ready. We'll see if you're available or not. But you know, if you're out doing your charity, then I got you. And Jane, I will also message you later when Riley's ready, so you and I can talk to him about fill him in with the details. Okay?
All right, I've just come back because I just lost the call.
Yeah, we noticed. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later. All right?
See you later,
I
Andrew.
better shoot as well.
Bye.
I better shoot as well. All right, guys.
All right then.
Okay,
All
Jane.
right, I'll see you later. I'll see you later, Mark.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
And I hate to be a party pooper as well, but I've got a charity event. I've got a charity event that I need to start getting ready for, and you know, people turning up, and hopefully it'll be a good night. So I'm gonna have to cut you all loose as well, I'm afraid, guys. But it's been lovely listening to you, Kat. It really has, Karen. Sorry, you know, and I totally agree with 99% of what you've just spent the last 15-20 minutes expressing. Definitely on the same page as you there. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on here. Thank you everybody for watching as well. You know, and wish me luck on the investigation tonight, and I'll catch up with you all when I can.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, if you can call it a show. I've got a thing I've got to do today too at a fete, so that should be fun.
Well, I do obviously subscribe to you, Karen, and I got the notification come up saying you were live. So I thought, well, I'll go and watch. I'm all right for an hour or so, and then the next thing I'm on the show. So anything can happen.
Exactly, and you'll be fine. You'll do really well. So just remember, you know, keep that communication nice and healthy, and it'll be perfect. So this is a great thing you guys have got, is that ability to show other teams out there how much you can actually get out of this if you do it the right way.
Definitely.
So I send my blessings.
Thank you. Right, guys, I will see you all later. Thanks again, Karen. See you all later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you everyone for joining, and I hope that this is, I mean, it's been a great opportunity to get to talk to people that I don't usually talk to on live chat, but I actually feel that one thing is, you know, these people are really going to get a great opportunity of showing many people, including the viewers, how spirit contact is possible, and you don't have to be an asshole just to get them speaking and communicating with you. But anyone watching who actually goes out and investigates themselves, investigates by themselves or with a group, just try to be more respectful. You know, don't be a Zach Bagans or anything like that, because technically they have to create a lot of their interest, if you want to put it that way. So technically with those shows, you'll always see them either, you know, creating false positives, doing things, overacting, pretending they're possessed. I mean, Zach Bagans, I've never seen a person possessed so much like he does, you know, and it's ridiculous. It is over dramatizing. Spirits usually don't possess you like that. They can make you feel nauseated, depending on, especially if you're saying use my energy. So just make sure that you're always respectful whenever you go out and you're asking spirit to communicate with you. First of all, explain to them your purpose for being there. You're in their territory, so explain that to them. Tell them that, you know, your only purpose is not to offend them or insult their intelligence, but to show they're intelligent, and also to allow them to have a voice. And don't always rely just on spirit boxes. You know, allow them to use their own vocal cords, you know, like spirit vocal cords. They don't have a larynx anymore, but they do use the energy in the environment to speak. And no, it's not all demonic. It depends on your attitude as well. If you, so with Zach Bagans, yes, everything with Zach Bagans is a demon. And that's not true at all. I mean, in my situation, I've seldom come across, you know, anything that I would say is any type of demonic force. I've had assholes. I've had ones that are, you know, have said some really nasty things, and this isn't through a spirit box. But one thing I did notice is whenever you use a spirit box, try to ask for someone that you know on the other side to communicate through that spirit box. Don't ask for anybody. You know, if you feel like someone's around you and you feel it's familiar, then you can say, you know, who's here? Like tonight I said, who's here? And is anybody here? And I heard no, and that was Chris. So I know Chris's voice, but sometimes he'll show himself, sometimes he won't. I think that's the beauty of being in spirit, is it's up to you whether you want to show yourself. But always remember, respect is number one, and always tell them and explain to them why you want to record them, why you want to go out to this location, why you're turning on a spirit box. Tell them how this spirit box works. Talk to them like they're intelligent beings, because they are. You don't just go out to a location and turn on a spirit box and expect them to know what to do. You've got to explain it to them, because sometimes they don't know this technology. And if you just announce before you turn it on, I'm putting this on, this will help you if you wish to speak and use these words that are coming through to your advantage. You can, you know, project your voice over the top of them. This might help you say the things you want to say. And I'm here to get to know you as a person, you know, and if you've got any questions for me, feel free to ask me. You know, if you build up a rapport with spirit, and I mean, go out the first few times. I don't know whether any of you hear spirit like I do or see them, but ability, don't worry about the recorders and stuff like that first. Get to know them, get to interact with you in a way that they feel comfortable. Then say, look, you know, if I bring out next time a recorder, or if I bring out a device that is called a spirit box, it is a radio that sweeps across stations, blah, blah, blah. Would you be able to, you know, show me if you can use it, so that way I can record it to show other people who are interested in knowing how to connect with spirit, or wanting to get to know if there is life after this world, because many people who turn to this have lost loved ones, and that's how a lot of people do get into it. So Albert's question is, how can you read the energy of a spirit when you feel them around you? Well, I don't know about reading the energy of a spirit, but technically you will feel a change in the environment. You may feel almost like an electricity in the air. Sometimes you might even smell what smells like electricity, if there is a smell connected to it. But with spirit, you'll know when they're present, and that's when they want you to know. I mean, if I put myself in a situation where I'm without the visual and without the hearing, there have been times where I've just walked into a location and closed my eyes and listened as though I'm waiting to hear a friend. If you ask them, you know, to touch you, don't do that until you know the spirit. I would never say to a spirit, you know, that I don't know, come up and touch my hand, or can you touch any part of my being, or if you can touch my face, whatever. I mean, I had one spirit who I didn't know. He walked up and he just touched my hair, and I put the camera down. This was in the middle of the night. I was at the cemetery. Put the camera down. I said, did somebody touch me? And he said, sorry about that. You've got to tell them, you know, or give them rules. You know, I will, and I would ask that you respect me. Please don't touch me unless I welcome you to touch me. And this is where you can touch me. You know, you tell them where they can touch you, but you've got to have limits. You've got to have at all times. But don't be an asshole. When you're talking to the other side, never be an asshole to them, because if you start antagonizing them, then they will get angry. They will get nasty. If they have experienced others before you going out there graffitiing, being inconsiderate to the crossing process, you know, saying, are you a demon? Things like that. These spirits, can you imagine if someone walked up to you and said, are you a rapist? Or are you a child molester? You would become so offended. You wouldn't want to talk. You'd avoid that person. We've got here the crystal you were talking about last week, the one that helps save electricity. How do you spell that? Okay, so it's orgone, Orgone. You can actually have a look at that video if you want to go back and check that out. So orgone. Let me just I'll make sure. Bear with me for a second. But I'll try and find the name of the person. I'll just have a look on my phone. So it's Orgone, but it's like a charging plate, or you can use the ones that they've actually got crystals inside of them, like the quartz crystals. They're at a sort of like a you've got 3 points of that crystal, or they do other things. But this guy that I do recommend buying from, I'll tell you the name. Just don't buy from the ones that are the Indian ones, because they don't make them the way that this guy makes them. And I'm not being like, I don't know the guy personally, so it's not as though I'm... Okay, so the name is actually, this one's in the UK. I'm just trying to find, I think that might be him. Bear with me for a moment. It's got the Tesla coil that's like crushed up and put inside of it as well. Tesla, where is he? He's in the United Kingdom. Okay, so it's called Photon Orgone. So photon is P for Paul, H for Harry, O, T for Tango, O, N for November, Orgone, O-R-G for George, O, N for Nelly, E. And let me just have a look. He's on eBay. It's all lowercase. Photon _ Orgone. Orgone. So have a look at his store. It really, that's who I buy from. So he's in the UK, and if you go to, I'm just trying to find I'll go in and see if I can find the actual website address. Bear with me for a moment. I'm getting a bit tired here. I think it's .uk. But I can't be 100%. I'm just going to have a look at the link. So where is your website? There's so much writing on it. It's incredible. It even goes into saying how it's used, its purposes, the research that has been done. Absolutely amazing. It really is. You can get them also in pendants as well. He makes pendants. So, where are you? Where is your... okay, so if I go to... I'll just click on home. It might take me to the... Oh, fuck me. I'll see if I can get it up on the screen. That might be help. Hold on. All right, so the website, hang on. I'm so sorry about this. If you have a look under Photon Orgone Organisation, they're in the UK, and he's got everything, absolutely everything, and he can also custom make the items as well. So Photon Orgone, ORGONE organisation, and it is really incredible. It honestly, if I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't have seen it myself, to be honest with you. And I think the proof in the pudding is definitely, you've just got to see it. Anyway, I'll leave it with you. Now, there were some other questions. I'm just going to have a look here. I think he ships worldwide, so you've got no trouble about that. All right, so Albert says, I feel like every time a spirit is around me, I get the cold water dunk, losing my breath, and then feeling, and then he stops there. Each person, I believe, each spirit, because it's their own unique personalities, will give different types of feelings to you. Just as though, if a person approaches you and you'll get a different feeling with that person. Either, look at Riley, for example. He's got an infectious personality, and this is really easy for people to like him, because even if he has got a bit of a gutter mouth, he's just himself, and there is a different feeling. Some people, they're be inclined to look forward to his videos, even if it's just walking down the street. And that says something, because of the fact that he is approachable. He's very down to earth. He's not full of himself. He's what you see is what you get. And spirits are the same. Some of them are toffee noses, as we call them, stuck up. Some of them are prudes, where they won't cooperate at all. They'll be and some of them are just, they're not demons or anything, but they can be very negative, as in everything is woe me, I've been so hard done by, blah blah blah. I've had spirits that are just complete whingers, who whinge about things, but they've got nothing happening, if that makes sense. You get all different types. They do give you different feelings depending on their attitude. You can walk into a supermarket and suddenly feel like the floor's moving. You might get a little bit off balance kind of feeling, lightheaded. It's very possible that a spirit's just walked through you. So this happens. I've seen ones where they've been running up aisles, touching things, touching people, and then running off. They're cheeky. A lot of them, because they know that many can't see them, they will do things that will probably make your hair curl. I've had ones where I've seen them lying on a bonnet, pulling faces at the people in the car, because they know they can get away with it. So now there's Scott says, that is what I think. What I do not understand is why someone who was in prison would want to go back to prison by haunting it. Well, this is the thing. A lot of times there are spirits, depending on how they died. They might have died so suddenly they don't realise that they don't have to be there. But then there are some who just choose to, because it's been the only home that they've known. Some of them who've served a life sentence who've actually died in prison, maybe often, well, this is all I've known, I've got no home to go to, so that's why they will hang around those locations. Sometimes they get this attitude that they're going to take vengeance on those that took their life. Whatever it is, there are all different types of personalities. So keep in mind that in some locations they become territorial. So it's like if a person, say for example, is going to a nursing home and yet they had to leave their home, they may feel a closeness or a connection to their home, so they will go back. Even if their home was sold to somebody else, they'll go back and, you know, hang around wanting to know, who are these people in my home? You've got no right here. And they might distress themselves because there are times where they distress themselves. How dare they? This is my home. They don't understand that they don't have any need for that home anymore, that their physical body did, but their spiritual body doesn't. Some of them, they do know, but they just see it as, well, if I can be here, I choose to be here. I mean, even if you think of, Revelations, it talks about in the Bible, and this isn't a Bible bashing session, but in Revelations, it talks about how at the end of the day, when Jesus comes to take everybody, the living and the dead will rise and go with him to the heavens. Now, what's interesting too is I've had spirits where I've said, what's heaven like? And they say, it's not ready yet. And then I've had ones just talking about the new world. So I'm wondering if the new world is another place as opposed to heaven. If heaven isn't ready yet, then maybe what the new world is like a alternate world, or limbo, if you want to say limbo. I have no answer to that, and spirit often doesn't have an answer to give me either, except, heaven's not ready yet. Many people might say they're in paradise because what they're seeing or connecting with is nature. They see nature. I've had spirits say to me, do you know the flowers sing? And I haven't yet heard flowers sing. But no, I didn't know that, I would reply. So there are a lot of different personalities as there are different spirits. Some spirits will also have a lender view. So just keep that in mind, where they will treat you, well, you don't know anything about this side of things because you're not in spirit yet, but we're going to make you scared. We're going to give you this impression that where you go after here is going to be absolutely terrifying. And some people are terrified when they're about to die because they think, oh my God, I'm not going to go to heaven. I'm going to be in limbo. I'm going to be in complete darkness, and I'm not going to know anything. So I'll give you an example. My grandmother, she actually died 10 times. She had a heart attack, and it was like reviving her, and they ended up with the paddles on her chest to the point where it was black from the neck down, all her chest. One of her ribs were broken in the process of, restarting her heart and so on. And when she actually came out of it, I said, did you see the light? Did you see heaven? That type of thing. And this was, back in 2000, it was 2002. Was it 2002? Anyway, early 2000. And she said no, but she saw these little birds and they were pruning themselves. And she said they were so cute. They're just sitting up on, where behind in the background. She said, what are these birds doing in the hospital to the nurse. And the nurse said, I don't know. And then she said, and she saw an Asian lady. And why was the Asian lady taking my photo? And we worked it out. What had been happening was the person who was using the paddles on her to send the electricity into her to get her heart going was actually an Asian lady. And so what she was seeing was the flash of the electricity that was going into her body. And so everyone has different experience. I know I'm going all over the place. I'm just reading some of the comments, and I've got, again, something touching me. It feels like when you get hair on your face, but it's the touching. I get the touching. So, okay, so I'm going to show you, if I can, if they actually get picked up. Can you show yourself? I'll see if I can. Would you mind showing yourself, I should ask? Okay, I'll pop this on. They've turned on the light. Can you show yourself? Try to manifest a little. You know, it's almost 1 o'clock here in the morning. So it's a bit of a long session here today. No, I can't see you. Not on this. You'll need to appear a little bit more. Can you see the screen? Now, as you can see in the background there, I've actually got a candle, and that is to help spirit to be able to touch and use that energy. So I will never offer my energy to them, but I will offer a candle as a source of energy. Now, they may or may not appear through this device. Okay, you can turn off the light now. Can you turn off the light now, please? Just move away from it. Now, I don't know whether you notice also the screen, you may be able to see their energy near the screen. Where they are, just to give you an indication, is over this way. Let's go. Try to move my finger on this thing. They're over here at the moment. And they've actually got their hand over the actual light, which is producing the light to turn on. Now here, if I adjust the contrast, I wonder if that's going to help in tracking them. Because this is something that those who do have a connect should keep in mind also. If you adjust either the lighting or the contrast, the brightness, that can actually help track them a little bit better. So you can see the light. This actually is better because you can actually see the light. Spirit, if this is you, Chris. You're not forming enough. You're actually more misty at the moment. I don't know why. You need to form a little bit more. Can you try to form? That might be why you're not being tracked. Because at the moment, and this might, I don't know whether I can, maybe if I have it, no, it's not showing. But right here is like, if you think about how smoke is, how smoke looks, white smoke, that is how the spirit is actually appearing. Okay, that's enough. You're going to waste the battery. Or okay. Can you move now, please? No, you're not showing up yet. You're still very misty. No. Just move away from the light, because the light's going to use up, when the candle, not the candles, the batteries are going to go on that light. Goodbye, Rose. Goodbye. Who's going? Oh, what a name, Bumfluff. Okay, yes, you can ask a question. Summer? Bye, Debbie. What question do you have to ask? You want to know if the spirits could speak or contact us? They do, all the time. And this is something else that might surprise you. Even those that left this world that couldn't speak with voice, those who are blind, they actually are able to see. Those who were, you know, walking with a limp, those who were without limbs, they are complete. One thing I've actually found, the ones that want to talk a lot are the ones who, prior to passing, were very limited in speech, or they couldn't talk. But if you are wanting communication with them and you're polite, they will communicate with you. But just know you never force them. Well, basically, the first suggestion I would make, you know, to those who are interested in communicating with the other side is always treat them respectfully by welcoming. I would probably going to a particular location, such as a cemetery, and never touch anything though that has fallen, because you don't know whether you've got an attachment that comes as a result of picking something up that you shouldn't. I mean, you really shouldn't be picking up anything in a cemetery anyway. I've got a video where the spirits actually, I was saying, I'm going now, and they threw something on the ground, and it was very, very shiny, and it was their way of trying to get me or lure me out so I could pick the thing up. And they kept saying, pick it up, and I didn't pick it up. They do speak other languages, most definitely. I've had ones that have, you know, and people have this idea that, and I don't know why some mediums out there are saying that if they passed away and they were speaking full-on Italian, they can now speak fluid English. That's not the case. I have had spirits that have turned up and they've been very fluent in whatever they're their national language is, and I haven't been able to figure out what they're saying. The only thing I can ask is, you know, telepathically, if you want to put it that way, I will say, can you tell me or show me something? Usually I'll describe them to the person if I'm doing a reading. Okay. That was interesting. Can you tap that thing up there? The black thing? You're going to waste my... Are you trying to use the batteries? They're drawing on the batteries to try and make themselves appear, because they're seeing the screen at the moment and they know they can't, they're not showing up. So that's why they've got the light going. But yeah, they do speak in their own native tongue. If they are Italian, they will speak Italian. I've had, at one point there was a lady that came out when I had the studio, and she was sitting down. Next minute, this spirit said something, and I thought, I can't understand what you're saying. And I just repeated it to her. And I said, do you understand what this means? And I apologize if I'm getting it wrong, but it sounds like this. And she sat there with her mouth open. She said, oh my God. She said that was, you know, her mother, what she would say to her as a child. And it was, I don't know what culture or what nationality it was, but it was, for what she said to me, it was something about, I'm trying to remember exactly the words, but it was along the lines of, God is always with you and he's watching everything you do. But it was, you know, that's how it was translated. But she said it's more beautiful when it's said in their language, but that's what it means technically. So I had never heard that before, and it was, I think she said she was Lithuanian or something like that. I'm not too sure. Now, there are other questions here. The ghost box is not for real. So the ghost box is not for real. Well, the ghost box is real, but when you use a ghost box or spirit box, as it's termed, you begin to open up communication with anything that doesn't necessarily have to be in your immediate location. You can also receive a lot of false positives through the spirit box because of the fact that people misconstrue what might be just radio or random words connecting to, I'll just turn this off now because they might waste all my battery. Just to explain, with the spirit box, they don't necessarily have to be in your location, in your immediate location, to be able to actually speak through it. They can be in another area altogether. But I don't always use a spirit box myself, mainly because you can get too many false positives. It does work, but you've got to make sure that, you know, when you're using it, I would start by saying, you know, if you've got, ask them to come through, ask them and first validate something that only you know, such as it could be their middle name or it might be a nickname that they used. Don't give away any hints. Always, you know, just start by saying, if I have my loved one here, whatever their name is, can you come through and talk to me? So that way you're actually connecting or trying to connect with someone that you physically know. Then if you do, as an example, begin to know the regular spirits that are around you, you can ask them. And with the validation techniques, like Andrew has stated here, absolutely, you've got to validate. Many people go in there and they're not using any validation that they are connecting with something, so they're just going on willy-nilly with the words that come through and saying, oh yes, that's all spirit, but not everything is spirit. You might have things that are just random through the radio, and that's exactly right, Andrew. Get them to repeat a word. So if there is a word that's said, would you please mind repeating that so I know that this is you speaking to me? But always use a polite way of communicating with them. What I usually say too is, you're welcome to communicate through this, but you don't have to. You know, it's up to you. If you want to talk, if you're happy to talk to me, then you want someone to hear you audibly, you know, as I've used when I've had clients there, and they're fascinated to hear something inaudible. I always say to them, okay, look, what I have found, and this is the advantage I've got, I will hear them saying something, and it's like a second or half a second later, it's coming through the spirit box. So, and I've actually got a video up on in the actual files about how there's proof of the communication. I can't remember its title, but I'll try and put the link if I can find it in here. Just looking and conscious of the time because it's after 1 and I've got to get up early. But what I would do is exactly as Andrew's saying, get it to validate. But when you're actually, it's try to ask some familiar spirit that you know, or your guide, if you are connected with your guide and you want that guide to, you know, with the communication, help them to be able to use the device. But it really is important to go in with full respect. With the spirit box, you are opening a door to communicate with anything beyond what is in your immediate location. And I'm not just saying, you know, radio personalities and stuff like that, but just bear in mind that these are beings that have feelings, they have emotion, they can get very angry, they can get frustrated. If you ask them to say something and then they're saying, "Bye, I'm Bobby." Okay, Albert, thank you for joining us and thank you for monitoring. If you are asking them to say something, just say it, you know, in a polite way. You know, always respect. That is number one importance. But I too must go. It is almost 1:15. It's 1:14 at the moment. I really do appreciate everyone who has joined the chat tonight. Everyone who also joined the live stream, Mark, Riley, of course, and Jane, and Andrew, thank you so much. It makes it interesting, but I really do hope and wish you all success, especially with this new thing. Go and do them proud, do the spirits proud, and go in there with respect at all times. So this is the first time ever for me to be here. Okay, so thank you for coming through, Summer Catcher, and joining in the chat. You're welcome. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Fairies to Exist. Good night, Andrew, Improving Demons. Good night, Brady Thomason. Thank you for joining. Susan, thank you. Everyone who is a part of this, thank you so much. And I really do hope that when you do go away from this, and if you're using spirit boxes, you do keep in mind, always protect yourself. As I said, I always say Jesus Christ is my Saviour, His blood is over me, and I feel the protection, and by feeling that protection, you then reflect that protection around you. So Have a great weekend, everybody, and be safe. Good night.